1. I should have known. The sound of explosions could be heard for miles, dust would be seen at great distances, and the killer intent was so big that you could actually cut it with a knife. This killer intent has been present for the last couple of hours. No one knew from where it came or from whom. No one except a few people in Konoha, one of which was the 5th Hokage, Tsunade. She knew the killer intent could only come from someone filled with a hunger for power and a desire for revenge. The only person that would fill the air with so much killer intent could only be Uchiha Sasuke. The boy had run from Konoha to join Orochimaru for power to defeat his older brother, which killed his entire clan except for him. Tsunade feared the outcome of the fight. She knew that Naruto might have reached Sasuke and was trying to bring him back. She also feared how the villagers would react when Naruto would return with Sasuke. She knew the kid had the power to actually bring down Sasuke. She only hoped no one would harm him when he would return to Konoha. Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke were standing on the water in the Valley of the End. The entire terrain was damaged, nothing was where it was before. The two statues that were facing each other were missing parts of their legs, and in the missing parts stood Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto was in his first stage of fox form. He had only one tail, but he was strong nonetheless. Sasuke was in his second stage of the curse mark. His wings seemed like a pair of hands and his hair had grown a lot. Sasuke glared at Naruto. Why is it that you wish me so bad to return home, Dobi? Sasuke, you don't understand what you are throwing away. You have everyone that loves you back in Konoha, stated Naruto, growling with anger at the cursed Uchiha. What do you mean by that? Spat Sasuke. I mean that you have someone that loves you, people that acknowledge you, and most of all you would have a family. Anyone in the village would happily become the parents of the last Uchiha, responded Naruto, growling at the end. He hated the fact that everyone liked the traitor and seen him as a great person. He was nothing more than a coward and a power-addicted maniac. The Uchiha let out more killing intent. You mean that pink-haired bitch? Sasuke literally spat on the ground. She is weak and a fool, and I don't need weaklings as my family. My only goal is to kill Itachi and revive my clan. Do you really think that anyone would want to be with you after becoming a missing nin? Yelled Naruto. You shut up, Dobi, you don't know how losing your family feels. Yelled back Sasuke with full rage. I don't know. You are more stupid than I am, you idiot. I can't believe I promised Sakura-chan that I would bring you back. You are not worth anyone's attention, but if that would make her happy then I will bring you back even if I die trying. Naruto yelled with tears in his eyes. Sasuke just laughed at the comment. Very well then, this shall decide everything. He started making the all too familiar hand signs, and in just a second the Chidori appeared in his hand. Naruto stretched his hand to his left and the Rasengan formed. They both jumped in the air at the same time, charging forward. They thrust the two attacks towards each other. The only difference was that Naruto was not aiming for the killing blow, but Sasuke was. Time stopped for a second. Baka, go for the killing blow, or else you will die. The Kyuubi yelled in Naruto's mind. At that the boy smiled sadly inside himself. The fox was right, he aimed his attack for the killing blow. The two attacks met in air, both powerful, neither wishing to stop. A purple sphere formed around them, encasing them inside. Sasuke tried to punch Naruto, but the punch was parried and Naruto planted his fist in Sasuke's stomach as hard as he could. The sphere exploded, throwing the boys away from each other. They both landed back from where they jumped with a loud thud. It was silent then, everything stopped, nothing moving. Then footsteps, a splash, footsteps again, and then a voice. I said I will bring you back, and so I will. I would have killed you if it wasn't Sakura-chan that wanted you back. Naruto's paw, approaching Konoha. I fought with all my powers. I fought using Kyuubi's help even though I did not wish for it, but I had no choice. I must respect my nindo. I promised Sakura-chan that I will bring back Sasuke. Now that Sasuke is unconscious and I am carrying him home, I think that things will change for the better. I can't wait to see the look on everyone's faces when they see me walking with the traitor. Mission accomplished. I can almost hear Kakashi and Iruka-sensei calling for me to treat me to ramen. I can almost hear Sakura-chan calling for me and thanking me. I can almost hear the villagers' apology for what they did to me all these years. I can almost see Ba-chan smiling at me and hugging me. I don't know why, but I always loved to be hugged. It made me feel comfortable inside. But putting that aside, I cannot wait to see the look on my friends' faces when they see me carrying the traitor. I can't wait to hear what the others did in their fight with those creepy Sound 5. I know I should be worried for them, but I am very sure they are alright and are now recovering. I think I am the last one that came. Kyuubi was right when he told me that I need to go for the killing blow. Because of that I managed to stop the Chidori and retaliate. I think I am very happy now. I will finally receive acknowledgement for what I do. I will no longer be called a demon. I will be known as Naruto Uzumaki. But wait, what if they think something else? What if they cherish this bastard that much that they will not acknowledge me and will yell at me? What will it be then? What will I do then? I only hope that everyone sees what I see, and that is that Sasuke is too concerned with revenge and power to ever respect Konoha. Anyway, I don't care what people will think as long as Sakura-chan will be there. I know for sure that she will not yell at me, she will be happy and she will thank me. That's all I need. Yes, that's all I need. As I approached the village gates I saw Sakura, some villagers and a few shinobi at the gates. I was carrying Sasuke on my back and smiling, of course, why wouldn't I? I finished my mission and I brought back the traitor. I was walking faster and was waiting for Sakura to cheer on me, but what happened next I was afraid of it. What have you done to Sasuke-kun? Yelled none other than Sakura-chan. You almost killed Sasuke-kun, you monster. I can't believe you. Anyo, Sakura-chan, I kept my promise. I tried to say, but she just punched me in the face and grabbed that traitor in her arms, looking with a worried face at him and throwing daggers at me. Promise. This is how you keep your promises. She yelled, and then I saw the villagers approaching. Look what he has done to the Uchiha boy. He looks dead. That demon killed the last survivor. Yelled a man who began throwing rocks at me. At his action, everyone started throwing things at me. Then, it happened. Sakura got up and started beating me. You monster. Demon. Look at what you did. She yelled, kicking me, at the same time ignoring my injuries, including the Chidori wound that Kyuubi was barely able to heal. But, Sakura-chan, I tried to talk to her with tears in my eyes. Don't you call me Sakura-chan, you monster. She yelled again and continued hitting me. Then realization hit me, I had nothing to do in this place. No one would ever acknowledge me, my friends all hate me, everyone despites me. The only ones that really care are Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kakashi-sensei, Iruka-sensei, Old Man Ichiraku and his daughter, and Konohamaru Core. Except for that, no one else. I was all alone, they all hated me. And then, the most painful thing happened. Get out of our village, demon. Yelled a man. Yeah. Get lost. We don't need you. Yelled someone else. Then I saw it, and everything snapped in me. I grabbed Sakura's leg and pulled, making her fall. I got up and my rage took over. Fine, you pieces of worthless shit. I will go. You do not deserve someone like me. For years I strived to protect you and to help you, and this is all the thanks I get. So be it, I will leave and never return. I should have known that you were a waste of my time. Goodbye forever. I yelled and turned to leave, but not before I looked down. And you, Sakura, I said with as much venom in my voice as I could muster. I hope you will be happy with that traitor, you never deserved all my protection. I spat on the ground in front of her, with all the blood that was in my mouth, and I turned away and started leaving. Not interested anymore in what the villagers would say, or anyone else. Normal POV. As Naruto was walking away, a shy girl with lavender eyes overheard everything. When she saw him leave, tears started forming in her eyes. She couldn't believe that he was leaving, he couldn't leave, she would be too lonely. A great part in her wanted to follow him, in fact everything in her wanted to go and follow him. She thought of what will happen if she would leave, how everyone would react. She was afraid that she might endanger Naruto if she went. Her father would go berserk, but wait, she didn't care. Her father was a cold person that never showed any affection to anyone, especially her. What did she have to lose? Would she just stand there and lose the love of her life, or would she follow him? Everything was being processed in her mind at a fast pace, and then she decided. Everyone was already gone. She could hear people cheering. The gates were open and no guards. No one, not even Sakura. She had taken Sasuke to the hospital. Now was her chance. She started running in the direction Naruto went, hoping to catch to him soon. She activated her Byakugan and started to track him in hopes of finding him soon. In the Hokage's office, Tsunade was looking out the window. She heard cheers and a party started not too soon after that. She wondered why there was a party. Just a few minutes ago Gaara left after he and his siblings helped the rescue party. Gaara had to leave, for unknown reasons even for Temari and Kankuro, but they let him. Just as things were going good everything turned to bad. Shizune ran in the room. Tsunade-sama. Her voice was flooded with desperation. Tsunade turned around and looked at Shizune and motioned for her to calm down. Shizune took a deep breath and then said, "The villagers kicked Naruto out of the village." To say that Tsunade was shocked was too little. Now everything fit. Why there was a party, why everyone was cheering, they kicked the poor boy out, and they didn't even have the freaking authority. Multiple veins appeared on her head. What? She yelled so powerful that the party actually stopped and everyone now feared. What do you mean they kicked him out? Naruto brought Sasuke back and Sakura. I don't know what she did, but from what I heard from a chunin that was there, she started beating Naruto for hurting Sasuke and then someone yelled for him to leave the village and he left. Then Tsunade exploded. Sakura. She turned and stormed out of the office towards the hospital to get all the answers she wanted. With Naruto. The blonde boy was standing in a clearing, leaned on a tree. He was ripping his jacket to use it as bandages for his wounds. He was still shocked from what had happened and tears were still running down his face, though he didn't let out any sob. He was hoping that he was wrong when he assumed that they would do that, but even his hopes that Sakura would cheer on him faded the minute she called him a monster and a demon. He wiped away the tears. "I just knew this would happen," said a familiar voice in Naruto's head. "I still can't believe what happened. What am I going to do now?" asked Naruto concerned. "From what I see there is no ways you should return to that place. Go to Suna. I bet that boy Gaara would be happy to take you in," responded Kyuubi, comforting Naruto and trying to make sure he would never return to Konoha again. Naruto thought of what the fox said for a second and then nodded. He would go to Suna and see Gaara. He was sure that he would accept him and there won't be any problems there. He smiled sadly and got up. Starting to walk away, he felt someone was near, or watching him. Did they already send hunter nins after me? He asked himself. "Hey, come out. Show yourself," he said. He was getting ready to attack whoever came, but he stopped and was amazed to see who it was. The young girl with short, dark purple hair. Hinata. Naruto-kun, she said as tears were running down her cheeks. Before Naruto could say anything, she ran towards him and jumped on him. She placed her head on his chest and started to cry. I'm so sorry, she said while crying. Naruto just stood there shocked. Never in a million years would he have thought that Hinata would come and try to find him. He expected a teacher or an Anbu, but not Hinata. "What are you sorry for?" asked Naruto. You were kicked out of the V village, and you didn't do anything wrong," she said while sobbing. "Yeah, I know, I hurt their precious Sasuke," spat Naruto. Hinata held him stronger in the embrace. Naruto-kun, where will you go?" "Suna," responded Naruto. "I will try find Gaara. I'm sure people will be happy to have me there." Hinata raised her head and looked in the boy's eyes. She was lost in their grace. She blushed slightly and then blinked. "Naruto-kun, can I come with you?" she asked, stuttering. Naruto was shocked. Why did she want to go with him? Wasn't she afraid of him? He looked in her eyes to try and find an answer. He was amazed to see they were filled with concern and caring. Almost, why is she looking at me with so much love? He pondered. He tried to answer something but nothing came out, then finally something did. "But what about your family? Why come with me?" he finally asked. Hinata saw that now he was concerned for her. "I want to come with you. I am never accepted by father, and because I want to go with you because I feel safer with you. And because I love you," she thought to herself. Naruto was thinking, indeed she had a hard life in Konoha, but she was the heir to the Hyuga clan. She had duties to fulfill. He tried to convince her to return but she didn't want to. "But I will go on a dangerous trip. I don't care as long as I am with you," she said, blushing and burying her face in his chest. "But if something happens to you, please," she begged him, tears forming in her eyes. "I don't want to go back as well. Please, I want to come with you," she said, and Naruto was amazed she didn't stutter not once. He smiled. Somehow he knew that if she came with him he would be happier. He hugged her tight. Hinata was speechless, and after a moment of silence he spoke again. All right, Hinata-chan, you can come with me. I promise I will protect you on the way, and if you are coming with me I will teach you some jutsu. Wait a second, Hinata-chan. Well, I guess it sounds good. What the hell, I will call her with Chan from now on. I don't think she would mind. And as he expected, his didn't mind. He could feel her smile on his chest. Little did he know that she was even blushing at the same time. He called me Hinata-chan. I can't believe it, she thought. They left the spot after 5 minutes walking close to each other. Hinata took care of Naruto. She gave him some of her ointment and bandaged some wounds that were still opened with some bandages she had on her. Naruto was really happy. He found that there is someone else that cares for him. Someone his age, in fact. His worries disappeared that day, and his happiness came back. He was more happy when Hinata congratulated him on the well-done mission. He didn't care it was only one person, he was happy someone congratulated him, but not only that, it seemed like Hinata became a little bold and kissed him on the cheek. He blushed and turned his head to hide the blush while Hinata turned her head in another direction to hide her own blush. All he wanted. Hinata's POV. It was morning. I just woke up and feeling really happy, but somehow I knew that it will change soon. It's always like this. Always father will say something or will do something to ruin my day, but there is someone always there to comfort me. Every time when I had problems there was Naruto-kun that helped me and comforted me. I was always grateful for that. I don't know what I would do if he would vanish. I got out of the bed and did my usual routines, took a shower and brushed my teeth, then I got dressed and went to eat something. When I arrived in the dining room I saw my sister Hanabi and father already there eating, but I didn't see Neji. He was always there, and something felt wrong the moment he wasn't there. Ever since Naruto-kun beat Neji in the Chunin exam he has changed towards me. He is the only one that offers comfort from the family. Even my sister is a spoiled brat that doesn't help me, just walks by and ignores me. Whenever Naruto-kun was on missions and I had problem with father, Neji would always be there to help me. Like Naruto-kun, he turned into the cousin that I always wanted. In secret he would always support me and train me. I am grateful to that and to Naruto-kun for changing him and for bringing back my old cousin, the loving one. I took a seat and started eating. I tried to ignore the fact that Neji wasn't there, but after I was done I just had to ask to know. After all, he is my cousin and he cares about me. Father. I asked, stuttering like always. What do you want, Hinata? He asked me with his usual cold voice, always the same voice. Anyo, where is Neji-san? Your cousin went on a rescue mission a few hours ago. He went to save the Uchiha boy from Orochimaru, and he said with so much pride that you could think that Neji went alone. Anyo, did he go alone? No, he responded with a cold voice. I could feel that he wanted Neji to go alone because he thought that my cousin would only be held back. My father thought that the Hyugas were invincible, he didn't care about anyone else. We went with the Nara boy, Akamichi boy, Inuzuka, and he took a pause like he would be disgusted by something. And with the Uzumaki boy, he finished with the coldest voice I ever heard. Why was he so mean to Naruto-kun? It's not like he would have done something. And when did they leave? I asked. And what's wrong about Naruto? When I asked the last question I regretted it. Father exploded. He looked at me with daggers in his eyes and started yelling at me about who knows what, just insults like always. But then he saw that I wasn't paying attention and he actually did it. He hit me and told me to leave. With tears in my eyes I ran out of the dining room, but not towards my room. I went towards the gates to wait for Naruto-kun to come. As I waited my pain slowly faded and all I wanted was to wait and hope that Naruto-kun comes back safe, because in all the time I waited everyone slowly returned. Choji came back looking very skinny and was almost dead because of that. Kiba was injured really bad and Akamaru was unconscious. Neji had a hole in him and was taken in emergency to try and keep him alive, and Lee was tired from his fight and had a few bruises like Shikamaru, who also had a broken finger. But Naruto-kun and Sasuke didn't come yet. People started to gather at the gates and I hid myself behind a tree and waited. Then Naruto-kun came. He was so happy. He was carrying Sasuke back. I saw he was slightly injured, but Naruto-kun looked like he would fall down any second and die. I had to hold myself from running towards him and carrying him towards the hospital. I wanted to jump out and cheer on him and congratulate him. He was so happy. he kept his promise towards Sakura. I found out from Shikamaru about the promise. It was only natural that he would be happy. He actually finished an A-rank mission. I was really happy for him, but then I was shocked what happened next. Sakura was beating him and yelling at him for hurting Sasuke. I saw Naruto-kun had a bad injury in his shoulder that was opening from all the hitting and he was starting to bleed. He didn't cry, but I saw that inside he was broken. And then the villagers yelled and threw rocks at him and told him to leave. I wasn't sure what will happen next. I hope Naruto-kun would ignore and come back, but it shocked me when I saw what he did next. He made Sakura fall down and yelled back and talked with Sakura with so much venom in his voice that I thought he would actually beat her, but he turned around and left like he said. The villagers didn't even wait for him to leave and started cheering and left to spread the word. I saw Sakura picking Sasuke up and leaving towards the hospital, ignoring Naruto-kun. He was walking away crying. It just broke me inside. I couldn't believe it. At that moment I decided I would go with him and help him from now on. He doesn't deserve that treatment, I would help him. So I ran after him. Konoha, at the hospital. Normal POV. Tsunade was dashing through the halls of the hospital fuming. Her face was completely red of rage. Someone tried to get in her way to calm her down and she punched him so hard he flew through a wall. When she arrived in Sasuke's room she saw Sakura there taking care of the boy. Sakura! Yelled Tsunade from the door. The pink kunoichi turned around and greeted Tsunade. The Hokage then exploded when she saw that the girl was happy. She grabbed her from the collar and threw her towards the wall. Hokage-sama. Started Sakura, what was that for? What did I do? What did you do? Asked Tsunade and veins appeared on her head. What did you do to my little brother? What did you do to Naruto? But Tsunade-sama, look at what he did to Sasuke-kun, she said, pointing at the boy on the bed. Tsunade looked at the traitor and raised her fist to try and hit him but calmed down and threw her anger towards Sakura. What did he do to him? He is injured bad and is unconscious. Only that, yelled Tsunade fuming. Did you at least look to see what injuries Naruto had? Did you? I will tell you, he had a freaking Chidori hole in his left shoulder and was injured 3 times more than this piece of shit, she said, pointing towards Sasuke. And you dare hit him like that? You dare do something like that after all he has done for you in this shit? Whole of village, yelled Tsunade. Of course you wouldn't think. Guards. 3 Anbu appeared. You are to take this traitor to the prison wing of the hospital to recover, and you Sakura are to think of what you did. And Tsunade stormed out of the door. She slammed the door with so much force that the wall cracked and the door fell down and broke. The Anbu took Sasuke and disappeared. Sakura just stood there, nothing passing through her head, and then she heard a puff. She turned to see Kakashi looking angry. I am really upset with you, Sakura, for the way you treated your comrade. You should be happy he kept his promise and brought back that traitor. Sakura tried to say something but Kakashi continued ignoring her. Do you know what the boy always wanted? Do you? He wanted recognition, acknowledgement, and support. That's all, and you treated him like trash. You know what else? You remember your birthday 1 year ago. Well, do you? Asked Kakashi, this time yelling, and she could have sworn that she saw tears forming in his free eye. Why yes, she stuttered. Well, you don't. That's what I will tell you, he said, surprising Sakura. I will tell you what happened to Naruto. He came and treated you to lunch. He said he will pay lunch for both you, Sasuke, and all your friends, And how do you treat him? You punch him and yell at him, because you thought he wanted to date you. And you were really wrong. I was in a tree at that day looking what you did. You know what happened after you left? Well, do you? He yelled, and this time even harder. Sakura shook her head. No. After you left, Naruto started crying. That's right, he started crying and he opened his jacket, and what I saw shocked me. The present he bought for you, all destroyed. And might I tell you what it was? Something made out of glass, really expensive, and you know how much it was. Do you? And again Sakura shook her head. I will tell you, it cost 3 years of saving, 3 years. But that's not what gave me nightmares for the next month, no, not at all. Sakura raised her head and looked at Kakashi, that was actually crying now for what he was about to say. The glass went in his chest. He was picking the pieces of glass one by one out of his chest and bleeding. There were serious wounds, and you know what he did? Instead of throwing your present away and going to be healed, he stood in the same spot for 5 hours trying to repair your gift. and was bleeding and he didn't care. He tried to rebuild your gift and give it to you. When he saw he can't do it, he made a shadow clone to take the gift and bury it. Sakura just stood there not knowing what to say. She never knew, and now everything was being said. And what is worse was the next morning. Yelled Kakashi. We had a meeting and I didn't come, and you know why. Do you? He yelled so powerful that scared everyone that was listening. All the nurses were listening. Some didn't care what happened to the boy, but some were feeling remorse and tears were forming in their eyes. I will tell you, started Kakashi again. I stood by Naruto's side the next day, taking care of him because the whole day he had been unconscious because of blood loss. That's why I didn't even bother to tell you happy birthday then. You have lost all my respect out of this moment. You should feel utmost ashamed. And then Kakashi disappeared, leaving the girl alone in her world. Hospital, somewhere else. Kakashi entered Lee's room. Guy was there and was giving a speech to the boy on how to listen to the medics and not to push himself. The bowl haircut Junin turned and saw Kakashi and smiled at him, but his smile faded when he saw his rival crying. Kakashi, what happened to your flame of youth? Asked Guy. There is no time for that crap. Follow me, we need to find Naruto, stated Kakashi. Anyo, wasn't Naruto the one that brought back Sasuke? Isn't he in the hospital? Asked Lee, trying to figure out what was happening. No, Lee, he has been thrown out of the village by the villagers and he is in bad shape. Worse than after the fight. He could die and you can thank Sakura for that. Now come, Guy. And Kakashi left to find Asuma and Kurenai, Guy after him. Lee stood there in his bed shocked at what happened. A few moments later Kakashi and Guy arrived in Kiba's hospital room and saw Kurenai. He greeted Kiba and motioned for Kurenai to follow him. What's wrong, Kakashi? I hope it's not about the fact that you found a new book, said Kurenai. Would you shut up about that book? Snapped Kakashi, scaring everyone. He insulted the book he cherished the most. We need to find someone before he dies. Now follow me. Kurenai nodded and left with the two. A few moments later they found Asuma, who surprisingly was looking for them, and they talked about what happened. Kurenai was shocked. She couldn't believe the treatment the boy received. They left the hospital to find Naruto, who they suspected was somewhere in the forest outside Konoha. With Naruto and Hinata, the two shinobi found a cave and stopped there. Night was about to fall soon and they couldn't risk to walk during the night, not in the condition Naruto was. They made a fire and Hinata brought some fish and cooked them. Hinata-chan, started Naruto, and Hinata looked at him. I'm sorry, I don't have any sleeping bags or anything, and my jacket is ripped. It's all right, and Naruto-kun, she said. Yes, but I don't want you to catch a cold. You should have gone back. Why do you want to come with me? He asked, and Hinata looked at the ground, tears forming in her eyes. He saw that and was afraid he insulted her in some way. He took her in a friendly hug and placed her head on his shoulder that wasn't bleeding or it wasn't dirty. I'm sorry, I didn't want to make you cry. It wasn't you, it's about father and my family, she said, crying. What happened? Did he hit you? He asked, and Hinata nodded. Naruto felt his blood boiling. How could someone hurt a great person like Hinata? How could they hit their own daughter? He wanted to ask her why he did that when she started talking. I asked him why does he hate you? And, he yelled at me and then he hit me and my sister laughed at me, she said, sobbing. Naruto tightened the embrace and started moving back and forth to calm her down, like he always did. He had forgotten what a jerk her father was and he hated him for the treatment he gave the girl. Well, kid, you aren't the only one, it seems. I will never understand you humans. Even we demons have more respect towards our children than you have, said Kyuubi, who had been listening to the entire thing. Not all are the same, or so I think, but Hinata's father is a real ass, stated Naruto. Well, what will you do with her? What do you mean? I mean, will you take her with you? I suggest not, she will be a burden. Kyuubi's response only made Naruto angrier. And what the fuck gives you the right to say that? Huh? If she wants to come with me, she will come and I will die to protect her and make her happy. She is not happy with that asshole of a father. Kyuubi was shocked at the boy's reaction and considered that he shouldn't say anything anymore, it wasn't worth it. Naruto looked down at the girl. He started to think how cute she looked, how wonderful she smelled. He shook his thoughts. Damn you, Ero Sanin. Na Naruto-kun. Why did they all hate you? Asked Hinata, looking in his eyes. I can't tell you, you will run away and get scared, he said, looking away. Hinata hugged him. I won't, don't want you to suffer anymore, you can tell me. No Hinata-chan, I can't, you will hate me, he said, tears in his eyes. That's not true, I can never hate you. But. Hinata looked for a little courage in her heart, and will all that she could master, she kissed him on the cheek, blushing madly. Please, I promise. Kid, my opinion is to tell her, this is how you find out who your true friends are, and besides it's best you tell her and not her finding out. Okay, but don't tell anyone please. Hinata nodded. Well, you know about Kyuubi and Yondaime. Hinata nodded once again. It's all a lie. A lie? She asked, not believing. Does this mean he is free? Naruto shook his head. No. He is not free. Yondaime could not kill the Kyuubi, so he sealed him away in a newborn baby. Hinata looked at his and then realized why they all hated Naruto, why no one cared about him, why all that treatment. Yo, you are the container. Naruto nodded and got up. If you want to run now, I won't stop you, he said. He was sure she would leave scared away, but when he didn't hear any footsteps or anyone yelling at him, he took his heart in his throat and looked at Hinata. She had tears in her eyes, and she was looking at him with care and compassion. She jumped up and hugged the blonde, crying. Once again he was speechless. She was his true friend, and she didn't care. What amazed him the most was when she started apologizing for not being there for him. He sat back down with the girl in his arms. Don't worry, Hinata-chan, don't be sorry, it was a law that didn't allow kids our age to know about this. They stood there hugging each other and comforting each other for a long time. When Naruto felt she calmed down, he looked at her and he saw she fell asleep. Smiling, he turned her around and put her head on his chest, and he held her tight to him to give her warmth. He stood as close as he could to the fire, and soon he fell asleep as well. In Konoha, the party was roaring on the streets, people cheering and applauding. Everyone found out about the girl that beat the demon and threw him away from the village. Everyone was celebrating. There were parties in most houses where most people were. But the party wouldn't last for long. At a random house where there were a lot of people partying about the departure of the demon boy, the door was blew open by a fist. The Hokage entered the room with Anbu behind her. Hokage-sama, said a villager. Come and party with us. The demon is finally gone. Wrong thing to say. Tsunade exploded. The Anbu behind her took a step back, and she extended her arm and grabbed the man and threw him through the wall. This party is over. Who gave you the authority? WHO. You pieces of worthless scum. Arrest them all. And then Anbu jumped and started arresting everyone present. The raids took about 2 hours and then everything was calm again, but a mob was formed and yelling why was the Hokage ruining their parties and arresting them. They arrived at the Hokage tower and Tsunade was on top looking over them. She let out all her killing intent. It was silence after that. Everyone was shivering, even her guards. I can't believe I became Hokage for these pieces of scum. I can't believe Yondaime sacrificed himself for all of you. You want to know who brought me and convinced me to become Hokage? It was Jiraiya-sama. The Toad Sanin, said a villager. Wrong, yelled Tsunade, scaring everyone. It was the one you called Demon Boy. Jiraiya only came with him to teach him a thing or two, but he alone brought me back and convinced me to become Hokage. I became Hokage for him. And for him alone. Right now I should resign. He is a hero to this village. He held such a burden for 13 years. He kept you safe for 13 years. At any time he could have left the demon out to kill you all, but no, he didn't. He protected you all like a true Hokage. And you treated him like this. You should be ashamed. He is the hero you don't deserve. You know what else? Sarutobi should have named Orochimaru the 4th Hokage, and Yondaime should have taken his son and formed a new village somewhere else. His effort to protect you was in vain. And with that, Tsunade left, leaving unanswered questions such as who was the Yondaime's son. In her office, Tsunade was trying to calm herself down. Nothing was going the way she wanted. Kakashi and his team left a few hours ago and still no word from them. She sent some Anbu as well, still no answer, and to make it worse, Hiyashi just arrived in her office. What do you want, Hiyashi? I am here to tell you that Hinata is missing. She disappeared this morning, he said coolly. Maybe she followed Naruto, but that means she knows about Kyuubi and doesn't care, or who knows. And what do you want? What do I want? She could be with that demon from all I know. You need to shut up, yelled Tsunade, slamming her fist on the table. First of all, he is not a demon. Second, there are 2 teams searching. Go home and wait, and don't you dare say Naruto is a demon in front of me ever again or you will die. Hiyashi was scared for the first time in his life. The killing intent coming from the Hokage was so great it could match the Kyuubi's. He nodded slowly and left the office. Tsunade took a bottle of sake out and started drinking. Her head was hurting from everything that happened today. Letters and memories. Kakashi's POV. I remember the first day I met the boy. I could never forget that day, that horrible day. I don't know if Naruto remembers it or not, but that is not what concerns me. He didn't deserve such a treatment, and right now even I am paying for this kind of things. Right now I feel really sorry for what I did to him. I never paid that much attention like I should have. I never should have taught Sasuke Chidori, and I should have taught Naruto more and helped him more, but most of all I am sorry I stuck by the rules. I should have ignored the elders. They told me not to teach anything important to Naruto. Sick bastards, I should have taught him everything I know to him. He is more worth it, not that Uchiha boy. If it wasn't Naruto in Team 7, I would have resigned from the team the moment Sasuke started acting like a power-hungry idiot. But now it's too late, and that day, I still remember it, such a happy day it was for him. Kakashi's flashback. I was running from rooftops to rooftops. I just finished my mission and I wanted to get home and rest. I thought the day would end with no incidents, but I was wrong. I heard someone scream, then more screams and glass breaking, and someone calling for help and begging for forgiveness. I ran to where the sounds came and I was shocked to see a small boy with blonde hair about 4 or 5 years old in a dead-end alley with a large group of villagers in front of him. There were even some shinobi. The boy was bruised slightly and the mob was moving closer and closer to him. Then when they got near him they started beating him, beating a small child, someone that never ever did anything to them. I could feel my rage coming out, and out of instinct I made my special attack, and I made the hand signs and charged the Reikiri. I jumped down in front of the boy facing the mob. I thought they got the message, but no. Kakashi, good to see you, said a shinobi I thought was honorable. Have you come to help us kill the demon? My eyes widened. I knew I recognized the boy. It was Uzumaki Naruto. They were chanting to use my Reikiri on him. I looked in the poor boy's eyes and I saw. He was begging for help. I turned around and stuck my Chidori in the shinobi that greeted me, completely destroying his arm. Get lost. If you even touch the boy again I will not miss your heads. I yelled at them. How could they treat Sensei's son like that? How could they betray his last wish? Well, I was not about to betray his last wish. After they left I turned back to the boy and smiled at him. Thank you, sir, he said, looking at the ground. He must have been afraid to look in my eyes. Maybe he was afraid I would betray him. You don't need to be afraid of me, I am your friend, I said, smiling at the boy. He looked up at me and looked in my eyes, in my soul trying to find out if I am lying, and then he hugged me and started thanking me again and again. I took him and put him on my shoulder near my head and left the alley. Walking on the streets with him on my shoulder we talked and talked. I was disgusted how he was treated, and then I saw the ripped clothes on him. Hey Naruto, let's go and buy you some clothes, I told him, smiling. But, I have no money, mister. He looked so sad and I could see he was about to cry. Don't worry about that, I will pay for your clothes, what do you say? Thank you, but I couldn't take your money. That's all right, I want to help you. And he smiled warmly back at me. He was happy, I could tell it. I entered a clothes store with him on my shoulder. When the owner saw him she was ready to jump and hit him. But then she saw me. I gave her the biggest killer intent I could muster and she started shivering and retreated back. After about half an hour of looking for cloths for him he chose a black t-shirt with a fox head on the front, and an orange outfit. I tried to tell him that orange would make him too visible but he wanted it, so I didn't argue. I bought him some socks and underwear and about 6 more of the orange outfits. I took him back to his home. Since he was kicked out of the orphanage, Sandame gave him an apartment to live in. When I stepped in I saw how poorly he lived. It made me feel very sorry for him. That entire day I stayed with him in his house playing with him, and when he fell asleep I tucked him in and left. But I never stopped helping him secretly, even though the elders warned me that they will execute me if they see me helping him again. I secretly always sent him half of my mission payment to him through Sandame. End flashback. Everyone in that village treats him like a demon, but he is not. They can't see past their fears to understand that he is not the demon but the jailer. They are empty-headed. And the elders should have helped him and not ignored him, and now, they kicked him out. I can almost see his father charging the Rasengan in his hand to obliterate every villager he comes across. I could almost feel his anger at how they treated him. I swear that somehow I will personally make those responsible pay, even if it costs me my life and my dignity. Normal POV. Kakashi's team was running through the forest trying to find Naruto, but so far with no luck. They saw parts of his jacket on the ground that looked like they were ripped. They didn't even camp last night. All night they searched and not it's morning again and they are still searching. Kakashi, do you have a plan? Asked Asuma. I got nothing. We might be running in circles. We haven't seen a sign of the boys since we found that blood trail about 5 hours ago, said Kurenai. Could it be that he doesn't want to be found? Asked Asuma, inspecting the ground. I have no idea, but what if he died? Asked Kurenai. It's impossible. Naruto's flame of youth cannot be extinguished that easy. For once you made a good point, guy. Yosh. Thank you, Kakashi, my rival. Alright, stop it, we need to move again. He might have camped out for the night, said Asuma, looking around. There are some caves not far from here, you think he might be in one of them? Asked Kakashi. I am sure that he might have hid there, should we check? Asked Kurenai. Yes, let's go my youthful comrades. Yelled Guy, starting to run towards the caves, the rest behind him. With Naruto and Hinata. Naruto was looking around, smelling the fresh air. He looked down at the girl that was still sleeping in his arms. He smiled softly. She looks so beautiful. Wait, did I just say that? Well, she does look beautiful. Maybe I was so obsessed about that pinky that I didn't see what was in front of me. For the first time in your life you were right with something, congratulations, and Naruto heard someone clapping in his head. Oh, shut up, Baka Fox. Hey, don't offend me, I am working hard here to heal you, so shut your trap. Yelled an enraged Kyuubi. Naruto just ignored and stopped talking to the fox. He looked down at Hinata and saw she was slowly opening her eyes. She looked up and saw she was in Naruto's arms. She blushed furiously and jumped out before fainting. She started looking at the ground in embarrassment and started poking her index fingers like she always does when she is near Naruto. I wonder why she is blushing. Good morning, Hinata, did you sleep well? Asked Naruto, smiling warmly. Hinata nodded. Hi-en Naruto-kun. I hope I didn't scare you, but you feel asleep last night and it was cold and I thought I should keep you close so you won't catch a cold. No, not at all, thank you, said Hinata, blushing more. I can't believe I slept all night in Naruto-kun's arms. Why can't I tell him? Why can't I find the courage to tell him? Well, Hinata-chan, if it's alright with you we should go. We need to move more and reach Suna fast, said Naruto, and Hinata nodded and followed him. They exited the cave just as 4 Anbu appeared. Uzumaki, Naruto, we are here to take you back, said one with an eagle mask. Forget about that, let's kill the demon here and now. I don't agree with bringing him back, spat one wearing a beaver mask. But the Hokage said too, started the one with the eagle mask. Forget about that, don't you want revenge for what the demon did to your family 13 years ago? Asked the beaver masked Anbu, taking his katana out. Naruto went in front of Hinata and whispered to her. Go inside and stay there. I suggest you cover your eyes because I will let someone else take care of them. Who are you going to let? She asked. Please don't hate me, I promise he has no control over me, now go. His appearance then started to change. His teeth grew, his whiskers became more visible, his nails grew resembling claws and his blue eyes were replaced with red slit eyes, similar to a fox's. He growled at the Anbu. So the demon shows his true form, eh? What about the Hyuga girl? Asked a bear-masked Anbu. She is with the demon, she must be a traitor, kill her too, said the beaver-masked Anbu. Naruto snapped. Don't you dare touch Hinata-chan. And what will you do? Asked the eagle-masked Anbu. The beaver-masked Anbu laughed, but his laughter soon stopped when he heard a comrade yelling. He looked around and saw the eagle-masked Anbu on the ground in a pool of blood, missing his head. He looked at Naruto that was holding his comrade's head and then he threw the head towards him, making him sick. You monster. I'll kill you. The beaver-masked Anbu yelled, charging Naruto with his katana raised. He let it drop on Naruto, who disappeared in a puff of smoke, and then he was surrounded by about 10. They all charged at the same time. The Anbu managed to kill them, but then he felt something cold at his throat. He looked behind him and saw Naruto. Goodbye, was the last thing he heard. Naruto cut his throat and he fell on the ground. The other two Anbu were now boiling in anger. The bear-masked one and the tiger-masked one charged Naruto. The bear-masked Anbu made a series of hand signs and created two clones while the tiger-masked Anbu made his own set of hand signs and blew 3 fireballs out of his mouth. Naruto dodged the fireballs and charged the clones, finishing them off in just a few seconds. He then charged the bear-masked Anbu and started landing punches and kicks on him. They were so fast the Anbu could not parry. After being hit with a large series of punches and kicks, he felt something cold. He looked and saw he was stabbed with a kunai. Naruto yelled and started stabbing the Anbu with the kunai so fast he could not react. After being finally stabbed in the head, he fell on the ground, dead. The last Anbu started to shiver in fear. Naruto turned and looked at him. The Anbu wanted to move but he was too scared. He couldn't believe someone like that boy managed to kill his comrades so fast and with no remorse. He saw Naruto charging the Rasengan. His eyes widened in fear. He tried again to move but nothing happened. He was too afraid. Naruto was now in front of him. He grinned. "Send my regards to Zabuza. Tell him I sent him 4 Anbu to play with. Burn in hell." He slammed the Rasengan in his chest. It went through his chest and then in the middle exploded, obliterating the body and creating a bloodbath. Naruto turned back to normal and went where Hinata was. She opened her eyes and saw what Naruto did, and she closed them again, not wanting to see. But she could smell the blood. "I hope you are not mad at me or afraid of me. I am sorry but I had to do that," said Naruto. "I am not afraid, and I am not mad, they deserved it," she said, hugging the boy. "Keep your eyes closed, I don't want you to see the scene, I will lead the way, alright?" Hi. Naruto took Hinata's hand and she blushed. They started leaving but Naruto stopped. He took a piece of paper out and a pen from one of the Anbu and wrote something and stuck it on one of the Anbu faces. He took her hand again and started moving. After about 5 minutes Naruto told Hinata to open her eyes and he let go of her hand. Even tough Hinata didn't want him to ever let go of her hand. What will Wed do now? They must consider us missing Nin. There is a village close by. He made a hand sign and transformed into himself but with his cloths not torn and looking like he doesn't have any injury. "I will keep this henge till we buy something to hide us, I don't want to fight anymore." Hinata nodded. "Anyo, shouldn't we take off our headbands? Shouldn't I make henge?" asked Hinata. "No, the headbands can stay for now, and you don't need to use a henge, just follow my lead and it will be alright, okay?" Hinata nodded again, smiling. Kakashi's group. 1 hour later. Kakashi's group were standing in front of the massacre, blood everywhere, an Anbu missing his head, one stabbed like mad, one had his throat cut and another was spilled everywhere, his organs strewn haphazardly around. "From the looks of it the battle happened an hour ago," said Kakashi, examining the least mutilated of the corpses. "Do you think Naruto did this?" asked Kurenai. "He did this," sighed Kakashi. "But I wonder why." Asuma then looked at the face of an Anbu and saw the message. He took it and motioned to everyone to listen. "Dear Tsunade, I will tell you this, I have nothing against you, and I know you sent these Anbu to bring me back, but they wanted to kill me. I would have let them, my life sucks anyway, but they then wanted to kill Hinata, so I let Kyuubi take care of them, and I have a warning. If anyone else comes and tries to hurt Hinata I will kill him. Also, she doesn't want to go back, you can thank her stupid father that beats her constantly. She wants to come with me and I have agreed. We are now moving somewhere safe, leave us alone and don't try to follow us. Send my regards to everyone in Konoha, except Sakura and Sasuke. Tell old man Ichiraku I am sorry for what happened. Also tell Neji that Hinata will be safe with me, I vowed to keep her safe and make her happy. Yours truly, Uzumaki Naruto. Wait, that means that Hinata is missing and she is with Naruto, said Kurenai. So it seems, but if I know Naruto then what he wrote here is true, responded Kakashi, reassuring Kurenai. Still he said that he let Kyuubi kill them, but that means she saw he is Kyuubi's vessel, said Asuma. True, but if he said that she wanted to go with him it means that she doesn't mind, responded Guy. Eternal youth, he found his true friend, yelled Guy. Guy, calm down, we need to find them now, and Kakashi summoned Pakun. What the hell happened here? Asked the dog. Pakun, this is Naruto's doing, he did it in self-defense, we need to find him, if other Anbu are on his trail that want to kill him we need to get to him and help him, responded Kakashi. But Kakashi, do you think he will come home? Asked Kurenai. Not sure, but we need to try, right? Asked Kakashi, giving Pakun a piece of cloth for him to sniff. Alright, I got the scent, follow me, and everyone left following Kakashi's summon. Kurenai's POV. In all my time I was never that attached to the boy, sure he was the container but I had no problem with that, in my eyes he was Kakashi's student, therefore another shinobi of Konoha. As for Hinata, she always saw something else in the boy, it seems like she knows more about him just by looking at him. I always wondered why she loves him, she doesn't tell me, but I think I figured it out. He never gives up and works hard to see his dreams come true, maybe that is why she loves the boy so much. I could have sworn in all my years that whenever she looked at him she would have been ready to give herself to him just to make him happy. He is too dense to see it, but I know that somewhere deep inside he knows how Hinata feels, but of course, he might try to ignore it because he is afraid of what he has inside of him. He was such a cute boy, hyperactive, but he always hid his sadness through his smile. Just like everyone that now is looking for him have helped him in his childhood, in secret, those bastard elders. I always hated them. They are so stupid, the Yondaime must be pissed off of what they did to the poor child. Kurenai's flashback. It was a normal day, I was walking in the park thinking of what to do that day, and I had the day off. As I was passing through the park I saw a blonde boy with a black t-shirt with a fox head on the chest. It was Naruto Uzumaki, the jailer of Kyubi. He looked like he was crying. I started cursing the villagers for he could only cry because of that. I sat down near the boy, startling him. Don't worry Naruto, I'm not here to hurt you, why are you crying? I asked him with a sweet voice. I wanted to play with the children, and the parents kicked me and beat me and yelled at me to leave, he said while crying. I cursed the adults in my mind again, how could they do that to him? He is just a child, they should let him play with the kids. Nothing bad would happen, that is for sure. I wanted to reassure him, but then something happened that amazed me. I heard someone calling the boy. I looked and saw a small girl with dark purple hair running towards us. When she was near me she looked at me wanting to know who I am. She had lavender eyes, and no pupils, she was a Hyuga. I smiled at her. I heard someone cry and I saw Naruto here crying and came to help him. Who are you, little girl? Anyo, my name is H Hyuga H Hinata. I am Naruto-kun's friend. She responded stuttering, the fact that she was his friend made me feel a little better inside. I then saw her sit down on the boy's right side and she hugged him and told him that it doesn't matter because he has her as a friend. Slowly I saw him calm down and smile at her, a true smile. But then she told him that her father was looking for her and that she needed to go. But Hinata, who would I play with? I want to play with someone. Slowly tears started to form in his eyes and I saw that in hers as well. So I intervened. Naruto, if you want I will play with you today. Hinata here has to go, I know how her father is and it's not good for her to be late. Naruto nodded and smiled, he hugged the girl that blushed and took their farewells. He turned to me and looked at me, I smiled and took his hand and went with him to the playing ground. It was empty. It was normal, it was somewhere in the early afternoon so most children would be asleep, but Naruto, who is always on the run, would never sleep at those hours. I played the entire day with him. He was very happy but sad when I told him that I had to leave. I promised him that we will meet again. I took him home and when he entered I left. But the sad thing was that since that day the elders forbid me to meet the blonde boy, I couldn't get near him anymore. Sick bastards, I could see how he started to miss me, becoming sadder and sadder. He played with Hinata as much as he could, but after she left he would turn sad again. From the shadows I would always keep Hiyashi busy so Hinata could play more with the boy, but only as much as I could. I hope that somehow I helped the boy be happier and I hope that in a way I respected Yondaime's last wish. End flashback. They have known each other from that day, poor kid. I feel sorry for the way he was treated, he didn't deserve that treatment, or this one. With Naruto and Hinata. Normal POV. Naruto and Hinata entered a small town. They walked at the closest shop and the shopkeeper greeted them warmly. How can I help you too? She asked. Well, we are looking for some robes that have hoods and can cover our entire body for our trip to Suna, said Naruto. Trip to Suna? Are you two on a mission? She asked, pointing to the headbands. Yes, we need to deliver a secret message and we left in a hurry and forgot our robes and we need to keep a low profile so we came here to buy some. responded Naruto smiling. The shopkeeper smiled and motioned to the two to follow her. After about 5 minutes of looking around they found some robes that hid their body and had hoods to mask their heads, and the face. The color of the robes were a light brown. Naruto smiled and nodded. They put the robes on them and paid for them. Before Naruto and Hinata left the shop he asked the shopkeeper if she had a paper and a pen. She nodded and gave him. He wrote something down and folded the paper. If a ninja with the leaf headband stops here, give him this. He has silver hair and covers his left eye with his headband. Sure, but may I ask why you wrote him this and didn't wait for him to come? They are supposed to be our backup, but we can manage it and we don't need their help anymore, and we need to hurry and bring the message to Suna. Oh, and don't tell them where we are going. The shopkeeper nodded without asking why shouldn't she tell them where they were going, and the two left. On the way out of the village Naruto broke his henge and Hinata broke the silence. "And Naruto-kun, who I is coming. We are being followed by Kakashi, he wants to find me. I wrote something for him to know that he should return and ignore me." He stopped and turned to Hinata. He approached her and she blushed. "Naruto-kun is so close to me, please don't faint." Naruto smiled and moved his hands behind her head. She blushed furiously. He then brought him hands back, pulling her hood over her head. He pulled his hood over his head and then took Hinata's hand in his. She blushed even more, if that is possible. They started walking hand in hand. "Man, why do I feel so good holding Hinata-chan's hand?" 10 minutes after Naruto and Hinata left the village, Kakashi's group were in the store. "He was here," said Pakun. Kakashi looked at the shopkeeper. "Have you seen a blonde boy with spiky hair and a girl with lavender eyes and dark purple hair?" "Yes, they have been here," she said, and took the piece of paper out and handed it to Kakashi. "He told me to give you this." Kakashi took the paper and unfolded it and started reading while the rest of the group was reading it as well from behind Kakashi. "Team Kakashi, turn back, you are not to follow us anymore. I know Asuma, Guy, and Kurenai and even you Kakashi-sensei want to help me, but you are not helping, trying to bring me back. If you take me back they might try and kill me, you cannot protect me forever there. It's best if you turn around and go home. And Kurenai-sensei, Hinata-chan is happy. She is safe and she knows about my secret and saw me using him. She doesn't mind and wants to come with me. Please don't force her to go back to that bastard Hiyashi, we both know how horrible he is. If you continue to follow me I will be forced to make you go home. My advice, turn around before anything wrong happens. Regards, Uzumaki Naruto." They all looked at each other speechless. Then Kurenai broke the silence. "So what now?" "We find them," responded Kakashi. "But you heard what he said," commented Asuma. "We are going for another reason. Pakun, lead the way," and they left the store. A few minutes later they were behind two persons with light brown robes that were walking holding hands. The only one who recognized them was Kakashi, who smiled at Naruto's plan to hide. He jumped in front of the two and they stopped. The rest jumped near Kakashi. "Kakashi, what are you doing? These people aren't Hinata and Naruto," complained Kurenai. "Has your flame of youth stopped?" Kakashi shrugged it off. "All right Naruto, Hinata, I know you are you, right Pakun?" "Right," responded the dog. "Kakashi-sensei, you should have listened to the letter for you," said Naruto. "Listen Naruto, you need to come back with us," said Asuma. "No, I am not going back, and if you want to take me you need to take me dead," yelled Naruto, and getting ready to fight. What shocked the rest was what Hinata did. If you want and Naruto-kun you need to go through me," she said in the Hyuga stance. "Keeping our promise." Gaara's POV. "My life has changed, I am someone new, if I can put it that way. Ever since my fight with Uzumaki Naruto I left my past behind and started a new life." His speech about friends and precious people made me realize what I needed, a friend, a precious person. Even though I did not tell him, Uzumaki Naruto became my precious person and his precious people are my friends. When that Uchiha boy ran the first herd that they might need help, me and my siblings were glad to give it. I have helped that bowl haircut person, Rock Lee. One of Uzumaki Naruto's precious person. I killed a strange guy, he said his name was Kimimaro or something like that, sick guy, he would have died anyway. I would have left him to die by natural causes, but he desired the faster way, a shinobi fight, and I respected that. I killed him in battle. Upon arriving with the Lee guy back in Konoha I took him to the hospital so he can rest and be treated. I visited my sister, Tamari, who was waiting with the so-called genius Nara Shikamaru. His friend was in critical situation and he was laying on a piece of string. I left so my sister can stay with him. I don't know, but it felt the right thing to do. I wanted to see what Kankuro did, but I couldn't find him, so I dropped my search. He can take care of himself. Besides, I can feel if one of them is having trouble. Somehow I feel it, but I cannot explain what it is. If I finished all that, I decided to greet Uzumaki Naruto at the gate. I could feel his chakra closing in. Arriving at the gate, I was for the third time shocked to see what was happening. I was shocked first time when my uncle tried to kill me, shocked a second time when Uzumaki Naruto defeated me, and now I was for the third time shocked to see one of his precious people beating him. I saw he brought back the Uchiha boy, so I did not understand what was happening. I wanted to interfere and kill that pink girl. But before I could act, one heard someone screaming for Uzumaki Naruto to leave. I knew he was strong, but once again I was shocked to see he actually agreed to leave. He told me when he defeated me that he desired to become Hokage, but if he leave he cannot complete his dream. I saw him leave. I wondered where he might go, and then I realized that he might try and find me. I went back to the hospital and found Tamari in the same spot. I told her I need to go back to Suna to do some stuff, and she nodded and told me to be safe. I teleported with my sand near the gates and started running towards Suna. If I am right and Uzumaki Naruto comes there, I need to greet him properly. I will wait for him there and repay him for changing me. I will help him for his help, and besides I need to know a lot of things. Why did his precious person kicked him, beat him, yell at him and threw him out of the village? That I needed to know, and only he could tell me. With Kakashi's group and Naruto and Hinata. Awesome as POV. I never thought that this will ever happen, the boy to be kicked out of the village. He was a good person and deserved better. I wonder what would have been if I would never have listened to the elders and had helped him like I did before. Flashback. It was noon. I was standing in my favorite restaurant eating something here and there. I heard someone yelling, and out of curiosity I looked at the entrance and I saw Uzumaki Naruto, a 5-year boy, pleading one of the people working in the restaurant to let him eat. The man hit the boy and told him to leave. I shook my head and got up. When I was near the man, he seemed to smile because I was there. Asuma, tell this demon to leave, he is not welcome here, he told me. I sighed and I put my hand on the boy's shoulder. Hey, would you like to join me and eat? I asked him. The man gasped and the boy looked at me, smiled and thanked me. But Asuma, the boy is, he tried to tell me something but I didn't care. The boy is hungry, he will eat with me and will eat whatever he wants and I will pay. If you have a problem, I dare you to try and tell me wrong. Then man nodded and went back from wherever he came. I took the boy's hand and went back to the table. I told him to order whatever he wanted, but he didn't seem to know, so I suggested him something and he nodded happily. We talked about things that he could understand. He told me about his dream to become Hokage and I smiled warmly at him. Indeed, he had potential. After eating, I took him to the nearest food store and I told him to buy whatever he wants as food and I will pay. I was happy to see that he didn't want that. He told me that he could not take my money. I reassured him that it was all right because indeed it is. I make a lot of money. He bought some ramen that could be easily cooked and I bought him milk and bread. After all, he needed something like that. I helped him take his stuff back home and promised him that someday I will treat him again at the restaurant. He smiled and nodded at me. Before I left, he hugged me. I smiled and took my farewell. Unfortunately, I never got to treat him again after that. Sick bastards. The elders forbid me to help him, but somehow I was still happy for him. One day I saw him eating at Ichiraku's ramen shop and it made me smile. After he left, I entered the shop. The old man seemed a little scared. I am sorry, I did not mean to disrespect the elders, he said. I smiled warmly at him. Don't worry, I am glad someone is helping the boy. Thank you. He seemed a little surprised. Do you know Naruto? Yes, I treated him to a restaurant one day, but since then the elders forbid me to help him. Bastards, I promised him I would treat him again, but no, I can't. The old man nodded in understanding. Well, I have nothing against him. I know he carries Kyuubi, but I don't care. He is a hero, he is protecting us all. I nodded. Listen, if sometimes he doesn't have money to eat, give him food for free and send me the bill, I will pay for him. Are you sure? He eats about 20 bowls. Yes, at least I could help him from the shadows. I smiled and the old man nodded. He agreed. It wasn't always that he forgot his money, but whenever he forgot them he ate for free and I paid for him, at least I somehow helped him. End flashback. Normal POV. Kakashi's group were stunned. The shy girl, Hinata, was willing to die to protect Naruto. Kurenai was outmost proud of the girl, never would she have expected her to do something like that. Kakashi just stood there smiling under his mask. So Kakashi, step aside and we won't need to harm you guys, said Naruto serious. Naruto, you know we are 4 Junin and you guys are just 2 and only genin, said Asuma. So what? I am willing to die and go back dead then alive, stated Naruto. And I am willing to help Naruto-kun fight, stuttered Hinata but with confidence in her voice. Oh come on, we don't need to fight, said Guy. Hinata did her hand signs. Byakugan, she said, activating her bloodline limit. Kakashi's group were surprised she did that. And Naruto smirked. So, back off or what? He asked. Well, first of all Naruto, started Kakashi. We won't back off. Naruto created 10 clones. Not until we give you some money, he said smiling and the rest of the group smiled at them. The clones disappeared and both Naruto and Hinata dropped their stance and gaped. WWWH, what did you say? Asked Naruto stuttering. Listen Naruto, we know you don't want to go back, and when we found the Anbu group dead we knew you would die if you return, said Kurenai. And besides we all have to keep out promises to you, said Asuma. What promises? Asked Naruto not understanding. Don't you remember all the times we helped you when you were small? Asked Kakashi. Naruto shook his head. No. I only remember when Guy-sensei saved me from a group of shinobi that wanted to beat me for no reason and then took me sightseeing in Konoha and around Konoha. The bowl haircut Junin did his pose and smiled at the boy. That's right my youthful friend, I still remember how happy you were. Naruto smiled and hugged the Junin. Thank you again Guy-sensei, but why didn't you come again after that? The Junin's good mood disappeared and looked sad. In fact every Junin looked sad after that and they also looked like they were sorry for that. Kakashi stepped in. Well Naruto, me, Asuma and Kurenai helped you as well. You might have forgotten, I bought you the outfit you wear even today, Kurenai helped. You by holding Hinata's father when you guys were small so you could play some more with her and Asuma once treated you to lunch and after that he secretly paid for how much you ate at Ichiraku's when you didn't have money so you won't starve. Naruto gasped and a tear dropped from his eyes. So, that means that, but why didn't you help me after that? Kakashi sighed sadly. The elders forbid us. They said they would burn all Ika books, cut my payment, demote me to genin and they said that even after that if I still helped you they would kill me and erase my memory from history. They told me that they would arrest me, throw me in jail and let me rot there for up to 5 years and then throw me out of the village, said Kurenai. They told me they will cut my payment, ban me from all restaurants, never let me have a genin team, hurt and terrorize my relatives and finally they would do something bad to me but they didn't say what, said Asuma. They told me they would cut my hair and make me bald, cut my eyebrows, take out all my teeth, torture me for some time, hang me by the arms on the Hokage monument for about 4 months and then they said they would do something bad to me as well, finished Guy. Naruto just looked at the ground cursing the elders. He also had to hold a little laughter when Guy said about the hair, teeth and eyebrows. But he was furious nonetheless. Hinata was shocked also and speechless. She knew her father was in the elder council as well. What she heard now made her hate her father even more. I don't know what to say, said Naruto. Let us fill that Naruto, said Kurenai. Bastards. Idiots, yelled Asuma. Scumbags, yelled Kakashi. Youth killers, yelled Guy. They should keep away from my style. Team Kakashi sweat drop, except for Guy of course. Hinata giggled. And Naruto laughed. So Kakashi, what do you want to give us? Oh yeah, we need to do this fast, you have hunter nins on your tail, said Asuma. What? Asked Hinata scared. The elders sent them, because now they can kill you Naruto, we hope they didn't make you a missing nin yet, said Kakashi. Those sick bastards, yelled Naruto furiously. Now Naruto, said Kurenai and took out 2 small bags. Here you both take this. Naruto and Hinata each took the bag and looked at them questionable. You have money there, about 100,000 ryo each, said Kakashi smiling. I don't know how much Ryo is in dollars, let's say 50 Ryo is approximately $10. Thank you, said Naruto with tears in his eyes and hugged each Junin. They smiled happily. Kurenai went near Hinata and hugged her. She was like a mother to the girl. You take care of the boy all right, she said to the shy girl. Hi sensei, smiled Hinata. And remember to tell him, you can't lose him to another girl now, can you? Said Kurenai giggling when Hinata blushed. Hi, IW will S sensei. Alright, you must go, we will handle the hunter nins, said Guy. Naruto nodded and took Hinata's hand, making her blush again, and started running with her near him. So what now? Asked Asuma. They are approaching fast, they should be here in a minute or two, said Pakun. Right, any plan? Asked Kurenai. Kakashi nodded and told them the plan. After a few minutes later, in the spot where Kakashi's team was, stood Naruto and Hinata talking. 5 hunter nin appeared surrounding them. Uzumaki, Naruto, you are under arrest, come peacefully, or make us happy and let us kill you, demon, said one hunter nin. Naruto laughed. What is so funny, brat? Asked another hunter nin. You, said Naruto. That changed back to Kakashi. Hinata disappeared in a puff of smoke and was replaced with Kurenai. Guy and Asuma jumped from the hiding spot, each behind one hunter nin. What is the meaning of this, Kakashi? Asked a hunter nin. We are helping the one you call demon, because the only demons we see here are you and the elders with the villagers, responded the silver-haired Junin. Treason, yelled a hunter nin. Kill them all, yelled another. Guy and Asuma immediately jumped and grabbed the hunter nins that they were behind. Kurenai caught another one in a genjutsu and attacked another. Kakashi charged his Chidori. I told you a few years ago, if you touch the boy, my Chidori won't miss your heads. I intend to keep what I said. He trusted the Chidori in the hunter nin's head, killing him instantly. He then jumped where the one trapped in the genjutsu was and hit him with his kunai in his head. Asuma was using his knuckled busters. He was having fun ripping the hunter nin's face. After hitting him and skinning his face, he decided he had enough. Kakashi appeared with another Chidori and hit the nin in the head like the first one. Guy was beating the hunter nin didn't have any chance. He dropped on the group after Guy punched him 500 times and kicked him 1000 times. Kurenai used a jutsu and roots appeared from the group, immobilizing her target. Once again Kakashi appeared with his Chidori and trusted it in his head, killing him. These guys were weak, said Kurenai. They were only chunin, it seemed, said Asuma. My first one was a Junin, but he was scared when he saw my Chidori and didn't have time to react, said Kakashi. What do we do with the bodies? Asked Guy. We will bury them and go home. We pretend we didn't meet them and tell everyone that Naruto tricked us and escaped us. We lost his trail. Everyone agreed with Asuma. Kurenai looked in the direction where the two went. Take care of her, Naruto, and try to see what she wants to tell you, don't be dense. Konoha, Hokage's office. 5 hours later. What? Yelled Tsunade. Yes, Tsunade-sama, the elders sent hunter nins to kill Naruto-san, said Shizune. Tsunade was fuming. Those bastards, she yelled, and the walls trembled dangerously. Tsunade-sama, calm down. If I know Kakashi, he already found Naruto and I am sure he didn't let anything happen to him, said Shizune. That's right, said Kakashi, appearing in a puff of smoke followed by the rest of the team. So what happened? Where is my brother? Asked Tsunade. Well, said Kakashi. It was like this, Hokage-sama, said Asuma. We found the Anbu team you sent. And? She asked, losing her patience. Well, they were dead. Tsunade raised an eyebrow. Kurenai gave her Naruto's letter and she read it. When she finished, she hit the wall behind her, breaking it. What? Yes, they tried to kill him and Hinata, said Guy. Well, I hope you let their bodies there to rot. The group nodded. Then where is Naruto and what about the hunter nins? Well, started again Kakashi. The hunter nins are dead, we buried their bodies and helped Naruto escape with Hinata, said Kurenai. Wait, you helped Naruto escape? Asked Tsunade. Yes, Naruto said he would only return dead and Hinata said she won't let us take him only if we kill her, and Naruto said he would fight us, said Guy. So he doesn't want to return, and where did he go then? Asked Tsunade. I don't know where he went, lied Kakashi. Tsunade let out a killer intent. Kakashi, this is my little brother, I need to know, now tell me. Kakashi was sweating. Alright, Suna. Ah, said Tsunade, calming down a little. Then, I guess he will be safe there, and Hinata is with him. Yes, he told her about Kyuubi and she still wanted to go with him, responded Asuma. Tsunade smiled. Good, anyway we will go to Suna in a few days so I can talk to Naruto, but I will need the rookie 9 to come with me. Team Kakashi nodded. Also we gave him 100,000 ryo to each of them, said Kakashi, and Tsunade smiled warmly. At least some of the shinobi respect Naruto. With Naruto and Hinata, the two walked in silence for the last 6 hours. They didn't know what to say, and didn't have to say anything. Each one was trapped in his own mind thinking. Hinata, when she was thinking, she would hold his hand tighter without realizing, but Naruto realized that. He thought that she was feeling sorrier for what happened to him and was angry at the same time for what everyone did to him. He was happy he found his true friend. However, after thinking of what happened with the Junin and the discussion he had, he started to think why he was feeling so good holding Hinata's hand and why he was feeling so good near her. The feeling was different than when walking with a friend. He felt something more powerful, but he didn't understand what it was. Kyuubi was laughing in his mind at him for how dense he is. Kyuubi realized that the blonde boy developed feelings for the girl, but he didn't realize. And every time he would ask himself the same question over and over again, Kyuubi would laugh harder, so hard that he thought the boy was killing him on purpose. Naruto broke his thoughts when he saw they reached the border. He smiled and jumped up and down. Where reached the border? We are free. He yelled and started hugging the girl. Hinata was blushing furiously and prayed not to faint. She was happy for Naruto and also happy he can't see her blush because the hood covered her head. All right, yelled Naruto again. He took his hood down and untied his headband and put it in a pocket. Hinata did the same with hers. He put his hood back on his head and took Hinata's hand again. We need to walk a little more and we are in Suna. You will like Gaara, said Naruto, smiling at Hinata. Hin Naruto-kun, she said, smiling back. They looked behind one last time, remembering everything one last time. They smiled and crossed the border. They were now nearing Suna. Arrival in Suna. Another day has passed in Konoha and it wasn't really pleasant for most people. For one person in particular, it was living hell. Ever since the Rookie 9 found out about Naruto being kicked out of the village, Sakura realized how stupid she was. Starting from being ignored and then yelling and making threats, they made the girl lock herself in her house just to not be yelled at. But even though all that, Neji, Kiba, Lee and Choji were all still in the hospital and they were a little sad they couldn't give her a piece of their mind as well. Even Lee was upset for what she did and was now ignoring the fact that she visited and brought him flowers. He would pretend to sleep every time and wake up after she left. He didn't want to talk anymore. Ino, being Sakura's best friend, was still around her from time to time so she won't go mad, but she was still giving her a piece of her mind. With all that, no one managed to realize that another person was also missing besides Naruto. The said person is Hinata. No one knew until Neji found out from Hiyashi, who had visited him. It was during the morning. Hello Neji, greeted the Hyuga head entering Neji's salon room. Good morning Hiyashi-sama, said Neji, lowering his head as best as he could. Now Neji, I know you are weak right about now, but I will give you a mission. But Hiyashi-sama, Hokage-sama said that I won't leave the hospital for a week, and even when I leave I won't be allowed to do anything harsh for the next month, responded the boy. It won't be that hard Neji, reassured Hiyashi the boy. What must I do? You will need to go to Suna and bring back my daughter, responded the Hyuga head in a coolly way. Hinata-sama is in Suna. Why? Neji asked, surprised. Of course he would have been, he never found out till today. She has been taken captive by that blonde boy Uzumaki, lied Hiyashi with a cold voice. Neji was shocked to say the least. He knew Naruto and that he cherished his precious people, but why would he kidnap Hinata? Lord Hiyashi, why did he take her? He asked, trying to understand. So he can use her as a ticket so we won't follow him, he responded. Bring her back. And with that he left the room. Neji stood in silence trying to understand. Naruto wouldn't do something like that, would he? He asked himself. He was remembering all his memories he had regarding Naruto. He never showed such an intention. He was more confused now. He had to ask someone what was happening. It was too much for him to understand. Luckily for him, someone listened to the conversation. Kakashi, who was assigned to watch over Hiyashi from the shadows to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid, appeared in Neji's room. Kakashi-sensei? Asked Neji. Yeah, I listened to the conversation, responded Kakashi with a grim voice. He really has something against Naruto. Is it true what he said? Why did Naruto do it? Asked Neji. Kakashi just looked at him and handed him a letter, the same letter that was attached to the Anbu's face. Neji took it and read it and was once again shocked when he found out what happened. But more shocked to find out the word Kyuubi, and that Naruto let Kyuubi out. What did that mean? Neji raised his head and looked at Kakashi for explanation. The Junin did some hand signs and silenced the room. He looked at the Hyuga boy and started. What I am about to tell you now is AS class secret and you are not allowed to tell it to anyone, understood? Neji nodded and Kakashi started again. When Kyuubi attacked no one could defeat him, not even Yondaime. Its true history books said he died killing the fox, but no. He died sealing it in a newborn baby. That newborn baby is Naruto himself. He has carried the fox for 13 years. So that explains the red chakra I saw in the Chunin exams, said Neji, and Kakashi nodded. And that explains why Hinata's father is so eager to kill Naruto and why he was kicked out of the village. Once again Kakashi nodded. Well, in my opinion this entire village is wrong about Naruto, and if I know better he didn't take Hinata prisoner, it's more likely that Hinata went to follow Naruto. Kakashi smiled and nodded at the boy. You are very right, Hinata wanted to go with Naruto and he agreed. And if I know Naruto, and I know him, if he promised to keep her safe and make her happy, then you have nothing to worry about. But still, what will I do about the mission he gave me? Asked Neji. Leave that to me and the Hokage, we will straighten him up. And with that Kakashi took the letter from Neji and disappeared in a puff of smoke. Somewhere in the sand, Naruto and Hinata were hiding in a cave. A sandstorm started not too long ago and they had to take cover. Hinata was worried about Naruto. He was shaking and sweating. Naruto-kun, are you alright? She asked. Why yeah, never been better, said Naruto smiling to reassure her. Why you don't look good at all. Hinata put her hand on his head once again. He was burning, he had a high fever. Naruto fell on the ground startling Hinata. Naruto-kun, JJ just tired. Hinata saw he was lying, he wasn't feeling good at all. She took her handkerchief out and soaked it in cold water from one of their canisters. She put the handkerchief on his head and he smiled. He was shivering more and more and his eyes were closing. She looked at his pulse and saw that it was slowly dying. This scared her. Naruto-kun, why your pulse is slowing down? It's no cough, nothing Hinata-chan. No it's not alright, why you are even coughing now? I'm fine. And he smiled again. Flashback. Naruto and Hinata were walking in the sand, under the powerful sun. It was a good thing that they bought the robes because somehow they didn't attract too much heat, but still it was tiring to walk under such a powerful sun. Naruto took his water canister out and wanted to open it when he dropped it on the ground. Damn it, freaking sun, he complained and bent down to grab it. How do people manage to live here? He asked looking at Hinata. I don't know. Ouch. He yelled and started shaking his hand. What happened Naruto-kun? She asked. He looked at the ground and saw a scorpion moving away from the canister. Damn pest, he yelled. Hinata looked at his arm and saw where the scorpion stung him. Do why you think it's poisons? Nah, I will be alright. And they started walking again, but not too long after that they started to sweat more, shiver, and then they had to take cover in a cave because of the nearing sandstorm. End flashback. Naruto-kun, that scorpion was poisonous, she said worried. Hey, it won't take me down. She took the handkerchief from his head. She was scared when she felt how hot it was. She immediately dropped it when Naruto started coughing out blood. Naruto-kun, are you alright? She asked scared. I'm fine, relax. He was starting to close his eyes. No you're not, you're coughing out blood. She started doing hand signs and her hands were filled with green chakra. She tried to heal something or take the poison out but she didn't have the skill to do it. She started crying. It's useless, I'm useless. Naruto put his hand on her back. Why do I feel so hurt when I see her cry? What do I feel that makes me want to stay with her all the time? Could it be? No, but can it? Am I really in love with Hinata-chan? He moved his hand on her head and started passing it through her hair. I'll be alright, don't worry. No you won't, I can't take the poison out. She saw he was closing his eyes. No, don't close your eyes, you need to stay awake, she said desperately. I will cough. Don't talk, please, you need to keep your strength to stay awake, she pleaded the boy. Hinata-chan, cough, I need to tell you something. Please conserve your energy, she cried to him. Hinata-chan, I want you to know that I'll love you, he said before closing his eyes and falling unconscious. Hinata started to cry on his chest. She made the seals again, her hands glow green again. She tried to heal him, or wake him up, anything but to be alright. She saw she can't do anything and tears were forming again in her eyes. She then felt someone's hand on her shoulder, her eyes grew wide. Suna Hospital. Naruto was slowly opening his eyes. Where am I? Is this heaven, or hell? Was the first thing he thought. He looked around and saw a figure near him. Blinking several times, he tried to clear his vision but was unsuccessful. Who are you? Are you an angel? Am I dead? He asked. The figure was startled. It hugged the boy and started crying. And Naruto-kun, you're alright. Naruto then recognized the voice, it was Hinata's. Hinata-chan, did you die too? He asked, and looked sad. I'm sorry, I couldn't protect you. No silly, we aren't dead, we are in Suna in the hospital. Naruto looked at her. How did we get here? He asked. Well, started Hinata. Flashback. Hinata was startled, someone was behind her. She jumped up and activated her Byakugan. Who are you? She demanded. My name is Subaku no Gaara, said the figure. Hinata dropped her stance. Gaara, Naruto-kun's friend from Suna. The figure nodded and took Naruto's body in his arms. Follow me, we are taking him to the hospital. But the sandstorm, how did you get past it? I control the sand, I can manipulate it by my desire, stick with me and the storm won't even touch you, he said and started heading towards the exit. Hinata followed him and once they were out she was amazed that indeed the sand circled around them and they were walking like there was no sandstorm. End flashback. So Gaara came to us? Asked Naruto and Hinata nodded. But how did he find us? He told me he felt your chakra dying and he came. Naruto nodded in understanding. Wait, I told her before I passed out that I love her. He turned his head slowly towards the girl. His vision returned to normal, she was smiling warmly and lovingly at him. Does she remember? Did she hear me? Is she mad at me? He asked himself and kept on asking things till Hinata broke his line of thoughts. Naruto-kun, I need to tell you something, she said taking a deep breath. Come on Hinata, you can do it, he already told you he loves you, that means that you don't need to be afraid he will reject you. Inside Hinata was jumping of joy because Naruto loves her. She closed her eyes and then opened them again and looked in his eyes. Naruto-kun, Uzumaki Naruto, said a voice. Hinata turned and looked at the window. Gaara was standing there. Hey Gaara, shouted Naruto. Call me Naruto, alright. The red-haired boy nodded. Come with me, we need to discuss something, he said. But what will the doctors say? Not that I am complaining, I mean I hate hospitals. You were asleep for one full day, the poison was extracted with success, you can leave the hospital, now come, he ordered and Naruto got out of the bed slowly. I'm sorry Hinata-chan, but Gaara, well, he is Gaara. Hard to explain, you could tell me later. Hinata nodded. I will wait you at Gaara's house, we will live there during our stay here. Now it was Naruto's turn to nod. He turned around and followed Gaara, jumping from rooftops to rooftops. Finally they reached the Cage's building and stopped on the roof. Gaara sat down followed by Naruto that sat down near him. So what did you want to tell me? The elders heard you were kicked out of the Leaf and that the girl left Leaf. They want to know if you want to join Suna. Well, that would be great, but what? Asked Gaara. Well, we won't stay long here and I don't want to become a missing nin because someday I will leave Suna. I have a crazy idea to form a new hidden village and I know where I can start that. Gaara nodded. Well, I can talk to the elders about this, but I am sure that if you will start a new hidden village they won't mark you missing nin if you plan on having an alliance with us. Well sure Gaara, it will be cool to have one. He responded with a grin. Who is the Cage? I can talk to him. You are looking at the future Cage of Suna Naruto, said Gaara. Future. Yes, I need to do some chores, and in 1 year I will become Cage, responded Gaara. I see. Anyway, back to the point, the elders said that you and the girl will be promoted to Chunin upon entering our ranks and you two will go on mission together and with me sometimes. Naruto nodded. Well, that sounds great, but what about my idea? I will talk to the elders, but first, let me take you to my place, get you some clean cloths and I will tell you tomorrow what they think. Naruto nodded and followed Gaara through the streets of Suna to his place. He was happy and for the first time he felt even happier because no one was giving him glares. All the villagers looking at them like they were any other people, or shinobi, even to Gaara they were looking not like he is a demon but like he is Gaara. Hey Gaara, said Naruto. Yeah, how come everyone is so nice? To be honest, ever since my fight with you I started to change, and since then I managed to get 70% of the villagers to like me and respect me for what I am, and I have you to thank for that. And they have no more problems with you carrying Shukaku. Gaara shook his head. No. Soon they arrived at Gaara's place. It was more like a complex of buildings. He found out that the Sand siblings each lived in a house, and there were a total of 4 houses. Gaara told Naruto he will have to share one house with Hinata and Naruto had no problem with that. Gaara took him inside his home and straight to his room. He opened his wardrobe and threw out a pair of cloths. Look at the Sasuke retrieval arc when the Sand comes to help Konoha, look at Gaara's cloths. Naruto will be wearing those. The blonde boy found it interesting that the cloths fit him and thanked the Sand shinobi. Gaara smiled pleased and left in a whirlwind of sand, not before he showed Naruto his place. It was starting to get dark outside so Naruto thought that he should sleep. He entered his new house and found Hinata on the couch thinking. He sat near her and she blushed smiling at him. "I'll like your new cloths Naruto-kun," she said. "Thanks, they are really comfortable. We will have to go and get you some cloths as well. Not that you don't look in what you have but you need something fitting for the Sand." The girl blushed at his remark. "Anyo, I need to tell you something." "Alright. Well, I want to tell you that I lo," she tried to say again but Gaara appeared in a whirlwind of sand in the middle of the room. "Alright, I talked to them and Anyo, Gaara, could you let me and Naruto-kun to talk a second?" asked Hinata shyly. Gaara nodded. "Alright, I'll be back in 5 minutes," and he disappeared. "So Hinata-chan, what do you want to tell me?" Hinata mustered courage and she moved herself on top on Naruto. She was now standing on his legs with her face facing him. They were both blushing. "I need to tell you about what you told me before you passed out." Naruto was a little scared, he thought she would reject him now. "Oh okay. I wanted to tell you that I'll love you too. I'll loved you since the academy days," she said congratulating herself in her mind. Naruto was stunned, for the first time ever in his life, a girl loved him back. And it wasn't any one other girl but a beautiful one in his opinion. He wanted to say something but was too amazed to find anything to say to her. She giggled when she saw him trying to make words come out of his mouth so she decided to speak for both of them. She leaned down on top of him and caught his lips in a soft and passionate kiss. Naruto's shock was even bigger now, he was experimenting this for the first time ever. He closed his eyes and let instinct take over him. His hands took a hold of her waist and pulled her down on him and responded to the kiss. Hinata broke the kiss and raised her head a little to look at him. "Are we a couple now?" she asked blushing. "If you want," he responded grinning his infamous fox grin. Hinata nodded happily. Then Naruto moved his head up and attached his lips to hers once again. She moved her head down, at the same time moving Naruto's back to where it was. They started kissing a little more furiously this time, no tongues yet when they heard something behind them. They broke the kiss again and looked at Gaara. I will tell you in the morning Naruto," and he left in a whirlwind of sand once again. Hinata turned her head and looked at the boy again and giggled. "It seems we are alone tonight." Naruto smiled and moved his and her body. He leaned on the couch with the girl on top of him. She blushed furiously. He smiled warmly at her and started kissing her again. She replied to the kiss with her own. Not too long after that they both fell asleep. Naruto laid down on the couch and Hinata on top of him with her head on his chest. Both fell asleep with a smile on their faces. Council. Riot. It is a bright new day in the village of Sunagaku. Even if it wasn't the same like back in Konoha, where birds would sing in the morning and the sun would shine gently on your face and the smell of leaves would gently touch your nose. Sunagakur wasn't quite so different. Sure, there weren't birds like in Konoha to sing in the morning and there weren't so many trees there. Of course the sun would shine more brightly here than there, but it didn't matter. For Naruto, the important thing was that he was somewhere where people do not treat him like trash, a place where he knows his friends accept him for what he is, and a place where he could go anywhere and buy anything at a reasonable price. As Naruto was slowly opening his eyes to a bright new day, he recalled everything that happened the previous night. A smile appeared on his face, a true smile, not one of his fake smiles that he always used back in Konoha. For the first time he was feeling happy. Looking down at the girl that was sleeping soundly on his chest, he sighed inwardly. Man, people were right when they told me I am dense. Yeah, but now you have a really cute vixen, I think that's the word, chuckled Kyuubi. Huh, Kyuubi, where did you come from? Well, let's see, when my parents met a few decades ago they. No, you dumb fox, where have you been? Yelled Naruto, shaking the bad images from his mind. Oh, well, let's see, if you would have paid attention to what you pick up and not be stung by a dangerous scorpion, the first wouldn't have lost conscious and I would have been present faster, pesky humanoid. Oh yeah, well, you're a dumb fox. Is that the best you got? Let me show you what I got. What do you mean? He asked and then regretted. What the hell? What are these images of Hinata-chan? What? You don't wonder how she looks naked? Kyuubi chuckled. Naruto shook the images from his head. Baka Ero Kitsune, get lost. Hey, is that the way you treat the one that kept you alive all this years, human? Yelled Kyuubi, that was fuming from the boy's attitude. Yeah, this is the way I treat you for showing me images that I am not interested right now. I am not a pervert. Sure you're not. Kyuubi started showing then images of Naruto and Hinata doing stuff together. Damn it, why do I always end up with perverts? He yelled, shaking the images again. Get lost, Ero Kyuubi. He could hear Kyuubi laughing in his mind, and then slowly the laughter stopped and he couldn't feel Kyuubi's presence anymore. He thought he left to sleep or something. Naruto thought about all his senseis. Every last one of them was a pervert, well, at least everyone except for Iruka, but Ebisu was the first pervert he met, and he liked to call him a closet pervert. After Ebisu there was Kakashi-sensei, always reading that book written by the biggest perverts of them all, none other than Jiraiya. Why do I get stuck with perverts? Hey kid, can you start reading that orange book your senseis always had? Asked Kyuubi with a chibi voice. What the hell? No way, pervert, yelled Naruto. Oh come on kid, I want to read something, pleaded Kyuubi, his eyes widened. Then, what are you doing? No. Naruto was showing Kyuubi images of him, Naruto, burning the orange books, every volume in the Ika Ika series. Please no. Go back to sleep and never ask me anything like that again. Fine, you might have won the battle but you haven't won the war, yelled Kyuubi and started retreating back to his sleeping corner. Naruto sighed, he looked down again at the girl and started passing his hand through her hair. She has soft hair, he thought. He wanted to get up but he didn't want to wake up Hinata. He sighed and decided to wait for her to wake up. He smiled as he felt her hair in his hand, through his fingers. He kissed her head softly and started thinking. I wonder when I developed feelings for Hinata, he thought. Well, maybe it started during the Chunin exams. Offered Kyuubi a response. The Chunin exams, then flashbacks from the exams started passing his mind. How she offered to give her paper for him to copy the answers, how she smiled and how she talked with him. He remembered his fight with Orochimaru in the Forest of Death, how Sasuke got the curse seal, and then he remembered the preliminaries. He remembered how determined Hinata was when fighting Neji. She wanted to show everyone she is strong, but looking carefully at the memory, he realized that she was fighting more to show him that she is strong. Indeed, without him knowing at that moment, his feelings for her started. He remembered the talk he and her had before the last stage in the Chunin exams, before he fought Neji. He smiled again at the memory. Indeed, that was the moment he started to develop feelings for her, but without even knowing. He mentally slapped himself for how dense he was. He felt Hinata move. Looking down, he saw she was slowly opening her eyes. He took his hand away. Sorry Hinata-chan, I didn't want to wake you up, he apologized. It's all right Naruto-kun. This is the time you usually wake up, she responded, getting of Naruto. I think IW will take a shower. Naruto nodded and she went to wash. He went in the kitchen and looked for ramen. He opened every drawer but he couldn't find anything. Sighing, he did the next best thing. He would have to cook, something he hasn't done in a lot of time. He found eggs and bacon, and started preparing breakfast for him and Hinata. In the meantime, Hinata finished washing and was still blushing. She still didn't believe she managed to do what she did last night. She looked in the mirror and decided that now if she managed to do what she did now, she will have to make herself stop blushing all the time and stop stuttering. She smiled and exited the bathroom and headed towards the kitchen. What she saw, she was amazed. Naruto was standing there smiling and there were 2 plates on the table with bacon and eggs and a vase with a flower in it. She blushed and he motioned for her to sit down. She took a seat and so did Naruto in front of her. They started eating and talking about what they'd done in the past, about their missions with their teams, but here Hinata used to say more than Naruto as he didn't want to actually remember the missions because those were the times when he was happy to be part of a team and he didn't quite want to remember. After they were done eating, Naruto took care of the dishes, no matter how much Hinata complained, and after that was done he took her hand and left the house heading for Gaara's. When they arrived, Naruto wanted to knock. "Not best because I'm here," said Gaara from behind them. "Oh hey Gaara, how are you?" asked Naruto turning around with Hinata. The red-haired boy nodded. "So, Gaara, why you want to tell us last night?" asked Hinata, congratulating herself for not stuttering that much. "I talked to the elders about that, Naruto, and they agreed. We need to go and visit them now so you can start." Gaara started walking away without waiting a response. Naruto and Hinata followed him. Konoha. Everything was quiet in Konoha today, after many raids yesterday. There were many arrests, a lot of people paid a great deal of money, the charges. Taking action without approval, starting parties in times when they needed to be aware, and for throwing away the most powerful ninja Leaf had. Tsunade and the Rookie 9 including Team Guy agreed that Naruto was a valuable asset, a more important ninja than Sasuke. Tsunade regretted to ever form the rescue party. They took 1 step forward but 2 steps back. This was not good in her opinion. But if that wasn't enough, now she was in the council room, everyone was yelling at each other. "I say we mark him missing nin," yelled a Hyuga. "I say not," yelled a Yamanaka. "You shut up Yamanaka, we got rid of the demon, it is time we mark him as kill of sight," yelled another Hyuga. "Hey, he is not a demon, Hyuga bastard," yelled the Nara Shikaku, Shikamaru's father. "What, the lazy Nara is finally trying to do something?" asked sarcastically the Haruno head. "I agree with the Hyugas, he must be put down. Go and die Haruno," yelled the Akamichi head. "He is a hero to the village, you are all to blame for this." "Shut up Akamichi, this is not your domain," yelled the Haruno. "Oh yes it is when it comes to heroes of the hidden village. Uzumaki Naruto saved the village more than once, you idiots. He is a hero and needs to be treated with respect," yelled the Yamanaka head. "Then why did he leave?" "Who?" asked Hiyashi. "Because idiots like you threw him out of the village," responded the Yamanaka, fuming. To say that Tsunade was having a headache was an understatement. She thought her head would explode any moment. She was happy to see so many clans respecting Naruto, but still it was too much for her to take. They were all acting like little kids. They all lost their senses regarding this problem. Last night the Yamanaka and Nara clan were about to go on a rampage and break the Hyuga doors and start beating everyone. They didn't agree with what happened to the blonde ninja. "Aburame, what do you say to this?" "We are right that he needs to be marked missing nin, right?" asked a Hyuga elder. The Aburame head raised an eyebrow. "Well?" asked the Hyuga, getting impatient. The Aburame head looked around with no expression. Then he looked at the Hyuga. "If you ask me, he is a hero and not a missing nin," he stated calmed. "What? Are you insane, Aburame?" yelled the Inuzuka head. "You are insane, Inuzuka. The Uzumaki boy saved us from Kyuubi," yelled the Nara head. "Shut up, lazy bum. He is the Kyuubi reincarnated." "Kyuubi my ass," yelled the Akamichi. "Naruto is just a normal boy." "Well Akamichi, he is normal, but not normal," stated the Nara head. "He is a Jinchuriki. A demon," yelled the Haruno. "Shut the hell up Haruno," yelled the Nara head. "I said he is a Jinchuriki, not a demon. The Jinchuriki is the one that keeps Kyuubi locked away, call him a jailer if you desire. But he is not the demon himself." "And what are your proofs?" asked Hiyashi. My proofs are the Chunin exams. Ha. That was the first time he used Kyuubi, he can very well be under his control now. Yelled Hiyashi smirking. Then that means that the Hyugas are getting blind, stated the Yamanaka smiling at her remark. You bitch, take that back. Demon lovers. Yelled a Hyuga elder. Go and jump off the Hokage monument. Yelled the Akamichi. You go jump, and make a crater at the same time. Yelled the Inuzuka head. I am sure that every Hokage is twitching and rolling in their graves right now because of idiots like you. Yelled the Nara head. Shut up and don't bring the Hokages into this. Yelled Haruno. I say we all calm down, said Aburame in a neutral and low voice. You calm down, bug man. Yelled Haruno again. The Aburame head twitched. Haruno, please calm down. He stated calmly and with a low voice. Calm down. We have a demon on the loose and you are telling me to calm down. Go and play with your bugs, bug man. Yelled the Haruno head smirking inwardly, fuming on the outside. A vein appeared on the Aburame head. You bitch. Go and die along with your pathetic daughter. He yelled finally. Everyone was taken back at this, even the Hokage. What did you say? You heard me. Go and die. And you are such an idiot that I need to keep my bugs away to be sure it's not contagious. All those that were supporting Naruto snickered at the remark. The Yamanaka head and the Hokage were almost ready to laugh. You dirty ass. Yelled the Haruno again. All you Harunos can do is yell and insult. Stated the Aburame. Hatake Kakashi, stand up. He said, ignoring the fact that the Hokage was supposed to say who to stand up and who to give answers. She nodded at the Junin and he complied. Tsunade didn't want to take part in this yet, everything was going good for now. What do we need this Junin for? Asked Hiyashi. He was expecting for Aburame to respond but it wasn't him. Hatake Kakashi, is it true that the pink kunoichi known as Sakura Haruno treated Uzumaki Naruto poorly? Asked the Nara head. Yes it is. He responded. Please tell us the most important things, said the Nara head. Well, it started after they graduated as a team under my wing. Uzumaki Naruto wanted to treat his teammates with lunch and she yelled at him and ignored him. Serves him right, yelled the Haruno. What if he wanted to poison my daughter and the Uchiha boy? Shut up Haruno, we are not talking about the traitor, yelled the Yamanaka. Please continue Hatake, said the Nara head. Well, after that there were more incidents. Her birthday for example, he wanted to be a good teammate and friend and spent 3 years of life saving to buy her the best present, something made of glass. She punched him, because he invited her and her friends to eat, in the stomach, and after she left he started picking up the glass and taking it out of his chest and tried to repair it for 5 hours standing in the same place, but when he couldn't he left and the next day he was unconscious all day due to blood loss. At that Naruto's defenders shivered, even the Aburame head who also raised an eyebrow. Tsunade was furious, she didn't know this story, while all this Naruto's executioners smirked and smiled. Ha, serves him right, said the Haruno. Who knows what devilish intents he had, he could have gotten everyone drunk then take them in the forest and kill them. She did just good if you ask me. What the hell, yelled the Yamanaka. Kakashi was growling at the remark, he knew Naruto and knew he would never have done that. I agree with Haruno, said Hiyashi smiling. Then you are an idiot, yelled the Nara. Hatake, sit down. Kakashi complied. I want Jiraiya, the Toad Sannin, to stand up. With that the Sannin smiled and got up. It was time to shut the competition and help Naruto. Jiraiya-sama, you were Naruto's teacher, tell us about him, said the Aburame calmly. Well, there isn't much to say, but he was a good boy, always listened and paid attention. He learned everything really fast. Sorry to interrupt, but how fast? Asked the Akamichi. Well, he learned Rasengan in 1 week. He stated, and everyone started to whisper to each other. Naruto's defense were most pleased of the boy. Do continue. Well, he was smart, and loved the village, he would have died fighting for his friends and precious people. He was stubborn at certain moments, and hyperactive, but that made him an interesting person, someone admirable. Anything else you like to add, Jiraiya-sama? Asked the Nara. He is a hard worker and never gives up and always keeps his promises, he said. The Nara nodded and motioned for Jiraiya to take a seat, which he did. Well, Hyuga, that still doesn't say anything to me, he said. I talked to the villagers and one here is going to give a statement. A villager got up and Hiyashi nodded at him. The boy, Uzumaki Naruto, always made trouble, always yelled and plotted something in his house. I could always hear him talk to himself, referring to himself as Kyuubi, and he always hid something. The villager then took a seat. That doesn't prove anything, yelled the Yamanaka. It proves he plots a lot behind our backs, yelled Haruno. Oh yeah, very well then, I request for Hyuga Neji to stand forward, yelled Yamanaka. Everyone in the opposition was startled from this, everyone except Naruto's defenders. Neji entered the room helped by Guy. He stood there and looked at everyone. He looked at Hiyashi, who made a sign to him. He wants me to bring down Naruto, thought Neji. Neji, tell us about Naruto, said the Nara head. Well, Hiyashi smiled evilly. Naruto is a great person, a hero. Hiyashi's smile faded. You, yelled the Hyuga head. You are a liar, what is the meaning of this? I am telling the truth, uncle, said Neji smiling. Hiyashi was boiling, he did the caged bird seal hand signs towards Neji to activated the seal. Nothing happened, Neji smirked. What is the meaning of this? He requested. Neji took his forehead protector off and then his bandages to reveal a normal forehead without the caged bird seal. What? Who took it off? I demand an explaining. Very well, said the Akamichi. Flashback. The heads of the Yamanaka, Akamichi, Aburame and Nara entered Neji's room followed by Kakashi behind. Neji looked at them wanting to know what they wanted. Hyuga Neji, we want to know your opinion on Naruto, said the Nara. Why? Asked Neji, not wanting to bring Naruto down because of a mistake. We are Naruto's defenders, the elders and council want to put him under the missing nin rank and we want to stop this, said the Aburame calmly. Yes Neji, confirmed Kakashi. Well, Naruto is someone that helped me see where I was wrong and what I did wrong. He in my eyes is a great person and someone that you can rely on even though he has the Kyuubi inside of him. The village's point of view about him is wrong and the way they treated him is even more wrongly. He is a hero for keeping us safe all those years, responded Neji, and the clan heads smiled warmly, even the Aburame. Neji, we have a offer for you. Neji's ears shut up, he was listening carefully. Kakashi here, said the Yamanaka, has a gift from Naruto. Kakashi handed a piece of paper to Neji, who started reading. Neji, this is a goodbye gift, I knew someday this will happen, I will be kicked out, so I left you this gift. After our fight I wondered if there is a way to take the caged bird seal of and I found it. The scroll has the technique which is quite easy, making that technique the caged seal will be removed from you. This is my gift towards you. Uzumaki Naruto. Neji looked in disbelief at the scroll in Kakashi's hands. The silver-haired Junin handed him the scroll and Neji read it fully and then looked at the heads with his mouth wide open. They smiled at him. We will remove the seal and you will receive protection if you help us clear Naruto's name so he doesn't become a missing nin, said the Akamichi. Neji smiled and nodded. End flashback. Hiyashi was dumbfounded and speechless. The demon boy found a way to erase the seal. He started burning of anger. Neji, from this day forward you are no longer a Hyuga, you are not allowed in the Hyuga estate anymore. Neji smirked. Whatever, I'm happy to be out of that hellhole. The Nara head smiled. Neji, please continue. Neji nodded. As I was saying, during my fight with him, he showed me what life truly is and that I can change my destiny, I can manipulate fate. He showed me the true way I should follow. He is a kind and warm person who would die to protect his friends. He would do anything for us and even for the village. The council and elders know he knows about Kyuubi. During the rescue mission he showed devotion and intelligence. He helped us in the best way he could and would have never stopped until he would have brought back one of his missing friends, even though he was a traitor. Somehow Naruto knew that Sasuke was actually calling for help, and he was glad to respond to that. I am sure that Naruto saw in his soul that Orochimaru was controlling Sasuke. My conclusion to all of this is that Naruto is a hero of the leaf and a remarkable ninja. He is not a demon as you all see him. Thank you Neji, you may sit down. Neji smiled a genuine smile and sat down near Kakashi, who patted him on the back. Well, do you need any more proof he is not a demon? Asked the Aburame head. Yes, yelled Haruno. During the Chunin preliminaries he hurt my poor boy really bad and his pet, stated the Inuzuka. I would have him state this but he is in hospital right now, she said again. He told me that his eyes resembled Kyuubi and he was throwing threats at him that he would kill his family and eat him alive but not before he would torture him in the most gruesome way. That bitch, yelled Neji and Kakashi in their minds. Naruto didn't say that, he never even used the Kyuubi's power, he only used it in Might Neji's fight. What a liar, I am sure Kiba didn't say that. See, a demon to the bone, yelled a Hyuga. Yes, and if that is not enough, he took Hyuga Hinata, my precious daughter, prisoner. Who knows what he is doing to her at this moment, said Hiashi, grinning inwardly. Neji jumped up. I object, he yelled, and everyone looked at him. You dare call yourself a father, you piece of scum. You treated Hinata more than poorly, you don't even deserve to call her your daughter. Yelled Neji, fuming, and Naruto's defense nodded in agreement. Is that so? Then let's see what her sister says. Hanabi, yelled Hiashi. Crap, thought Neji, he knew Hanabi hated her sister and wanted to make her feel bad. The young Hyuga girl entered the room and looked at her father. He smiled at her and she smiled back. When I was a few days ago at the gate assisting the events, after everyone left, I saw Hinata was passing by, and then a blonde ninja with an orange jumpsuit appeared and knocked her out. He looked at me and said, hey, you think you got the best of me? With Hinata as my prisoner, I will be able to free him. That demon, yelled Haruno. No one is safe from him, we need to mark his a missing nin and go after him. Yelled the Inuzuka. Oh, that is so much bullshit. Yelled Neji, that was again up on his feet. For starters, Hinata loves Naruto and she would have done anything for him. Naruto appreciates Hinata very much and he would do anything to protect her. I am sure Hinata followed him on her own free will. Hanabi smirked inwardly. She fell on her knees and started to cry. He took my sister, the one I love, and you say that he wouldn't. How would she love him? He stole her, who knows what he is doing to her. She collapsed on the ground crying loudly like a young year-old would do. Neji was fuming. Shut up. You are acting all of this, you always disrespected Hinata, you always made her feel bad, and you are only after the title of heir. Neji coughed once. How could you say that? I don't want the title, I want my sister back, she said, crying. Shut up. You are a liar, she is faking everything. It is not true. Naruto would never resort to doing things pant like this. Neji fell on his knees panting. Neji, calm down, you are starting to cough blood, you can't force yourself, said Kakashi, worried. Like I give a damn. That bitch is trying to make Naruto die. He is a honest person. You have no right to lie like that. You have no right to make his a missing nin. You have no right to break them apart. Yelled Neji on top of his lounges and then coughed a serious amount of blood and fainted. Kakashi got up and took Neji in his arms. I request to take his to the hospital. Tsunade nodded, rubbing her templates, and Kakashi ran towards the hospital. Hanabi smiled evilly at her victory and Hiashi was laughing inwardly. The girl is right, said the Inuzuka head. I agree with Inuzuka, he needs to be marked missing nin and killed, and if Hyuga Hinata deserted with him, she needs marked too, said Haruno. I agreed with both parts, said Hiashi. Hanabi, leave. The girl got up and left the room. Once she was out, Hiashi continued. Hinata will also be marked missing nin and hunted down for deserting. What? No way, yelled the Nara. I agree with Nara, you scumbag, you lied, and your pathetic daughter as well. I can see why Hinata chose to leave and I congratulate her, said Yamanaka. And I have one more person for defense, said Akamichi. Oh, and who is that? Asked a Hyuga. I call forth for Uchiha Sasuke. Yelled the Nara head. You will see, this is my masterpiece, hee. The doors opened and Uchiha Sasuke entered, followed by 4 Anbu. They stopped at the door and Sasuke went in the middle of the room. A traitor to defend another traitor? Asked Hiashi, laughing. Actually, a non-traitor, said Aburame. Sasuke, remove your shirt and turn around. Sasuke complied. Upon turning around, they expected to see the curse seal, but it wasn't there. Where is the curse seal? Asked the Haruno. Jiraiya-sama, stand up and explain please, said the Nara. Jiraiya smiled and went near Sasuke. He put a hand on his shoulder and said, I am glad to say that Sasuke here had the seal removed. I found, thanks to Naruto, a way to remove it. Sasuke, if you may. The boy nodded and took a piece of paper out and started reading. Dear Sasuke, ever since Orochimaru gave you that seal, I worked day and night studying to find a way to remove the seal. I am happy to say that I found a way, and the method to do it is on the scroll this paper is. Jiraiya took the scroll out and showed it to everyone. The scroll explains in detail everything on how to remove the seal. This is my goodbye gift to you, since you either will not be in the village when I am done with this, or I will no longer be alive or a leaf shinobi. Stay safe and don't rely on revenge. Yours truly, Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke finished the last part with a tear in his left eye. He wiped it away and looked at the council. The Nara head was smiling. Please tell us what you remember after you got the curse seal. Well, started Sasuke. I don't remember anything after the fight with Gaara of the Sand. After that everything is a blur to me, and I don't remember anything except waking up in the hospital without the seal and finding out that Naruto is not here anymore. At first I was afraid I killed him. And why is that? Asked the Akamichi. Well, I heard that we fought and I used Chidori on him and that I almost killed him. I never wanted to do that. Please explain, said the Yamanaka with a smile. Naruto to me is like a brother. Even though I never said it, I respect him a lot. He showed that he can improve greatly. He showed me that people can change and people can receive second chances. Even though I was always in competition with him, it was a friendly one, never one dangerous. I feel very bad for what I did to him and for the way he was treated when he risked his life to save me. Very good, you may sit down. Sasuke and Jiraiya took a seat and started listening. Well, Hyuga, mark the demon, yelled the Hyugas. What? Asked Aburame in disbelief. Every villager has stories with him trying to hurt them, everyone. A bunch of shinobi can't take on masses of people. I don't know with what he corrupted the minds of the shinobi, but he did, and everything is a lie, said the Inuzuka. Mark him missing Nin and kill him, yelled Haruno. Hokage-sama, called the Nara. What? Demanded Tsunade, who was fuming of what was happening. The defense was losing badly. Please tell us what you think of him. The Hokage got up and started talking. When I first met him I thought he was a brat, but he proved me wrong. He is a decent boy with a pure heart that risked everything to protect everyone. He saved me from Orochimaru, and proved how strong he is. He saved us all from Kyuubi by keeping him inside him. Sasuke doesn't know, he is confused now. Naruto is the Yondaime's son and he has proved it. He is not to be marked as a missing nin, said Tsunade taking seat. I don't give a damn, he is the Yondaime's son, yelled Hiashi. Old grudges, eh? Asked Nara. What would you know, you lazy ass? Oh, shut up. We know everything about what you did and how much you hate the Yondaime. You even hate his son because your daughter is in love with him, because she left with him, because she wants to be with him, yelled Nara, loosing his nerves. Everyone quiet, yelled an elder. We submit to vote. Is Uzumaki Naruto and Hyuga Hinata missing nins or not? Even we elder and the Hokage will vote. A lot of thoughts passed through everyone's minds after that. Damn it, now we will surely lose, thought the Nara. You will die now, Uzumaki, thought Hiashi. About time we decide he dies, thought Haruno. I will teach him to mess with my son, thought the Inuzuka. This is not good. I am sorry, Naruto. We failed, thought Aburame. I knew that idiots are in charge here, thought Yamanaka. I don't know how I will break this to Choji, thought the Akamichi. Damn them all. Now I will surely lose my little brother forever, thought Tsunade. This is all my fault, thought Sasuke. I need to find Naruto after this and warn him, thought Jiraiya. A few minutes later the votes were counted. Tears started to form in Tsunade's eyes. The votes are, in favor of the opposition, Uzumaki Naruto and Hyuga Hinata are now S-class missing nins. The opposition started to cheer Hyuga, Haruno, Inuzuka, elders, except two, the ones in the manga, Here in the story there are a total of 6 elders, while the defense all had sad faces and the head Yamanaka and Tsunade were shedding tears. I don't know how I will bring this up to my son, daughter, thought the defense Yamanaka, Nara, Akamichi, and Aburame. Yes, Tsunade is in the defense also but has other thoughts. I don't know how I will tell his friends, thought Tsunade. I have no idea how he will react to this, thought Jiraiya. This really is my entire fault. Please forgive me, Naruto, thought Sasuke, crying. Yes, crying. Suna. The group of 3, Gaara, Naruto and Hinata, arrived at the elder's room. Gaara stopped at the door while Hinata and Naruto went inside. There were 6 elders, If I remember right from the manga there are a total of 6 seating on pillows in front of them. They motioned for them to sit down on the pillows in front of them and they complied. An elder cleared his throat. So, Uzumaki Naruto, we discussed the offer and we accept us, he said. Naruto nodded and bowed. Now, Hyuga Hinata we will tell us the offer he gave us. Hinata nodded and listened. He told us he wanted to find another hidden village someday and he doesn't want you or him to become missing nins of Suna if someday you will leave. We agreed under the condition that you two will serve Suna for at least 1 month and that the two villages will automatically be allied. Hinata nodded once again. Very well, said another elder. You will start mission tomorrow. You will also help Gaara on his work to become Kazekage, even for that you will be paid. When you help him you are also marked as bodyguards for him. Naruto and Hinata nodded. The elders smiled and gave them the Chunin vests. Please report tomorrow at 8 for a mission, that is all. Naruto and Hinata got up and bowed. They left the building with Gaara. Naruto was happy for being Chunin. Hinata was happy as well but happy also because Naruto thought about the missing nin fact. Still she would need to talk to him about the hidden village thing. While walking Gaara was explaining what he needs to do. The first thing is for me to teach at least one ninja that was born in Suna, but that doesn't mean I can't teach you my techniques also Naruto. Your techniques? Why? Asked the blonde ninja. We are alike, in a way, we both carry burdens, I will help you by teaching you sand moves. Alright, then when you teach me I will teach Hinata-chan as well. Thank you Naruto-kun, she said smiling. Also, apart from what I told you I need to go on patrols around the border from time to time, I need to walk through the town a lot, I need to do some paperwork and train. Well that sounds easy, we will help you. Yes, you will make a good Kazekage, Gaara, said Hinata. Thank you, he responded and bowed at them. They headed home and took an afternoon nap, or at least Naruto and Hinata, each one of them took a room from the house which had two and slept in their own beds. Gaara told Naruto for when he wakes up to look for him so he can start his training in using sand. Gaara also told them that Temari and Kankuro would return in 1 or 2 days. Well this is so far, and regarding the missing nin thing, I will tell you now that Suna will not hunt them, let's say Tsunade and Jiraiya have something to do with us and you will see what. See ya all in 2 weeks, no updates till after 2 weeks cause I won't be home. So enjoy this one, and I hope you like the council, Riot. AN2. I am leaving in a few hours after this chapter is posted for 2 weeks so there won't be any updates in the next 2 weeks, enjoy this one and the waiting, man I'm evil. Poll 1. Should Hinata and Naruto form a hidden village? It will be in the wave where the Great Naruto Bridge is. 1. Yes. 2. Number. If yes to poll 1 what should the village be named? And how should the cage be named? Poll 2. What bloodline should Naruto have? 1. None. 2. Sharingan. 3. A mixture between Byakugan and Sharingan. 4. Something else, please give a name and description. His notes. It was about 10 in the night, Naruto was standing on the training field where Gaara usually was. Sunagakure's training fields were very different from the ones back in Konoha, there was no grass on the land, just sand, sand and sand again, as much as the eye can see, there were no trees and there were no ponds also, it looked a little dull in Naruto's opinion. The only thing that made the training field a bit interesting was the fact that there were weapon racks, usually from what he had seen between the numbers of 3 and 4 for each field. These racks had all sort of weapons, starting from the basic kunai up to the huge hammers, maces and so on. Also there were several rocks from here and there and some training dummies. Now, Gaara's personal training field looked very interesting, unlike the other here Naruto saw that most of the rocks were transformed. It seemed like the red-haired Jinchuriki had been trying to shape the rocks by his desire, the dummies were completely covered in sand and what seemed some kind of spikes made out of sand. The only thing that wasn't touched were the weapon racks, every weapon was there, it seemed like Gaara wasn't quite the weapon user. A few minutes later Gaara appeared in a whirlwind of sand in front of Naruto. The blonde boy screamed and jumped back. Damn it, did you really have to do that? He asked sweating. Gaara just looked at him and motioned to Naruto to go in the middle of the field, the blonde boy complied. He moved where the future Kazekage told him and upon reaching he looked back at Gaara that was just standing in the same spot emotionless. Naruto looked around, he looked up and he looked down then he looked back at Gaara. What am I supposed to do? Channel chakra, came a calm reply. Channel chakra? Asked Naruto not understanding, what for? Gaara looked in Naruto's eyes, not saying anything. He started at him for about 2 minutes when Naruto started feeling uncomfortable and decided to do what he was told. He closed his eyes and started to channel his chakra. The normal blue chakra appeared swirling around the blonde boy. At this time Gaara was looking at him carefully. "More," said the red-haired Jinchuriki, and Naruto complied, channeling more. The sand around him started to slowly raise and move without any direction whatsoever. "More," said Gaara, and Naruto tried to bring out more chakra, but the amount remained the same. "More," I said. "But I can't more than this," said Naruto, trying to bring out more chakra. "Red," was the only thing that Gaara said, thinking Naruto would understand. The blonde boy started thinking, what did he mean by red? He lost himself to his mind and lost concentration. He stopped channeling his chakra and was standing in the middle of the field, eyes shut, thinking. Gaara looked at him and waited. He was thinking that Naruto understood what he wanted. He waited, and waited and waited till he lost his patience. "What are you doing?" asked the red-haired boy. I don't understand what you mean by red," said Naruto, scratching the back of his head. Gaara shook his head. "I want you to channel Kyuubi's chakra, Naruto." "Oh," responded Naruto, laughing nervously. He started channeling his chakra again, and then when he reached the limit he started asking for the fox's chakra, but it didn't come. He tried again, nothing happened. "Hey fox, a little chakra would be nice, you know." "And why would I do that?" "Go back to your training or whatever you were doing and let me sleep," came a tired answer. "Hey, don't you dare sleep when I need your chakra." "What the hell am I? Chakra shop? Do I have a sign that says, come and take all the chakra you want whenever you want?" yelled Kyuubi. Naruto's sweat dropped. "Just give me chakra, alright." "No. Naruto, what are you doing?" asked Gaara, that was looking impatient. Well, you see," started Naruto, laughing nervously and scratching the back of his head. Gaara started taping his foot. Kyuubi doesn't want to give me chakra." "I don't care, you do what I told you or else I will beat you so hard that you won't even be able to go to the toilet for the next week," said Gaara coldly. Naruto shivered at the tough. "Okay Kyuubi, give me your chakra. Give me one good reason why I should." "Well, I hope you enjoy the smells if I won't be able to go to the bath for the next week." "What the hell? Oh hell no. Here you go kid, but just don't pollute my mind with things like that," said Kyuubi, and his chakra started pouring out. Of the blonde boy, Naruto was channeling the demon's chakra until Gaara told him to stop. Naruto did as he was told and waited for Gaara to give him the next instructions on his training. "Good, do the following hand sings and channel chakra in the sand around you," said Gaara, and Naruto nodded. "Dog, horse, monkey, rat." Naruto complied and did the signs he was instructed and focused on the sand around him. When he finished the last hand sign he looked around him, nothing had happened. Gaara, that was watching the entire time, didn't see the sand even move. "Nothing happened, Gaara, what should have happened?" asked Naruto. "Since you do not have a sand demon inside of you, I had to find a way for you to call the sand, to make it respond." Naruto understood. He did the hand sings again, but still nothing happened. He did it again and again, but the result was the same every time. It started to piss him off. "Try channeling chakra in the sand around you," suggested Gaara after some thought. Naruto nodded and did the hand signs and started channeling chakra around his feet. He made the chakra enter the sand around him, and Gaara saw the sand starting to slowly rise. "Think of the sand moving around you, from your feet to your head," said Gaara. Naruto started thinking about the sand to move around him. He opened his eyes and looked around, still thinking at the sand. Gaara nodded in achievement. There wasn't very much sand circling Naruto, but there was a little, and that in Gaara's opinion was a good thing. "Hey Gaara, I did it!" yelled Naruto, and Gaara only nodded. "You did, but it's not perfect, you need to be able to control more than that." "Yeah, I know, but still, I did it." Naruto started jumping up and down. He stopped thinking about the sand and it dropped back on the ground. Gaara shrugged and started walking away. "Meet me tomorrow here at noon," he said before disappearing. Naruto smiled and he also started heading back to his new house to get some rest. Even tough, he doubted that he would be able to get some rest, he was too happy. "Just a lucky shot, brat, it was weak," said Kyuubi sleepily. "And what do you care?" HMPH. Konoha, Nara Estate. Nara Shikamaru was lying on the ground in front of his house gazing at the sky. The recent events in Konoha had made him ponder even more about Naruto. He didn't know the boy very much, been with him on just a couple of missions, but he wasn't bad in any way. He always tried to help everyone and always seemed happy. But there had to be something else behind all that happiness. There must have been something else to why he always worked hard, why he pulled pranks, but most importantly there must have been something as to why the villagers hated him. Numerous questions bothered Shikamaru, there were too many and it seemed like he couldn't get an answer for any of them. But even though all that Naruto was a good person, a fellow ninja, a friend, he didn't deserve to be treated like that. He was a valuable asset to Konoha, he was more important than Sasuke, his strength, stamina and determination made him unique and interesting in all ways. Shikamaru's thoughts were broken by a light behind him. He looked and saw his father Shikaku standing behind him. "You know, the council had a meeting today," said Shikaku taking a seat on the ground near his son. "And what did you guys discuss about?" asked Shikamaru. "About Naruto Uzumaki and Hinata Hyuga, if they should be marked missing nins or not." Shikamaru pondered for a second. He then raised his head and looked in his father's eyes. "And you guys had to put it to vote," Shikaku nodded. "Which means that Naruto and Hinata are missing nins." Once again Shikaku nodded, "But tell me, when did Hinata leave?" "Wait a second," Shikamaru started thinking. He didn't see Hinata ever since they left on the mission to rescue Sasuke. She didn't even visit Neji. He knows that she loves Naruto but still she would have visited her cousin. If she didn't it means that she left right after Naruto did. "Well anyway, right now I have come with an idea but I want to know what you think of it," said Shikaku breaking his son's thoughts once again. "And that is, this village is full of idiots, the elders are a bunch of idiots except for two, the Hyugas think they rule everyone around here and are a bunch of stuck-up snobs." He paused, "And well I was thinking about leaving this place." Shikamaru's eyes widened. "You mean leave Konoha?" His father nodded. "And where would you plan on taking the clan?" "We could find Naruto and help him." Shikamaru gave a thought to that. He made a list of good things to leave and bad things but in the end the result was the same. "You know, I don't agree with leaving. Sure this place is starting to fall apart but we can't just leave. We would just be an easy target for enemy ninjas not to mention Orochimaru and the Sound." Shikaku nodded at his son's words. "I was thinking the same thing but I wanted to know if you were too, but tell me, would you leave Konoha?" Shikamaru thought about it, there would have been a possibility but still. "No," he said, "only if it was really necessary," he added. His father smiled and went back in the house. "Hokage-sama wants to see your team tomorrow at 10. Shikamaru nodded and lay on his back looking at the sky again and thinking. Konoha, Yamanaka House. Ino Yamanaka was preparing to go to sleep. It had been a long day for her. She had training with her family members on her clan's jutsus and then she had worked all afternoon in the shop and finally went and visited Sakura to see how she was holding. Her mother had not returned from the council meeting yet. She sighed. Another long day was awaiting her tomorrow. She needed to get rest to be able for a new day's challenge. She tucked herself into bed and was about to fall asleep when there was a knock at the door. "Enter," she said, and her mother Ikana Yamanaka entered the room. Her father's name is Inoichi. "Am I disturbing?" her mother asked. Ino shook her head. "No." "How was the meeting?" "It didn't go too well," she said with a grim voice. "What happened? What did you discuss about?" "We talked about Uzumaki Naruto," Ino perked her ears, "and Hyuga Hinata." "Hinata? What did she do?" asked Ino. "She left Konoha to follow Naruto," said Ikana, and Ino raised an eyebrow. "You mean that Hinata is not in Konoha?" "No, didn't you see?" asked Ikana. Ino realized she didn't quite pay attention to everything around her and didn't notice that indeed Hinata was absent all the time. Well, the Hyugas brought the matter of marking them both as missing nins. Ino's mother continued. Ino gasped at the news. "And what happened?" The Yamanaka clan with the Nara, Akamichi and Aburame supported Naruto and Hinata to make sure they won't be marked. Even the Hokage did. She trailed off and Ino realized what the outcome was in the end. She still hoped it wasn't like that. "But in the end we lost and they are now S-class missing nins," she finished. Ino lowered her head and without knowing tears started forming in her eyes. She knew Naruto a little, and was his friend, and he wasn't a bad kid. He was annoying sometimes but he was a kind person. "But why?" asked Ino. "Why did they mark him? Why did the villagers throw him out of the village?" She raised her head and looked at her mother. I'm afraid I cannot say, that is for the Hokage or Naruto to say. You will have to meet the Hokage tomorrow at 10. I suggest you sleep. And Ikana left the room. Ino was confounded in the darkness of her room. It was strange. Why would someone be so mean to Naruto? Why would they also mark Hinata as a missing nin? She laid her head on the pillow and tried to sleep, but questions continued to bombard her mind and she couldn't sleep. Tears dropped on her pillow. She didn't know why, but she was very sad about this event. They were her friends. It doesn't make sense why all this happened. Konoha, Inuzuka Estate. Inuzuka Kiba had just walked into the house when he heard the front door close. He went to check it out and saw his mother An. Thank you VN Vanman for clarifying, taking her shoes off. She was quite happy, which Kiba found unusual because normally she would return angry from the council meetings. Hey mom, he said. Oh hello there Kiba, how are you? I'm fine, I just finished my training with Akamaru, responded Kiba proudly. And where is Akamaru? She asked, looking around. Usually the dog was always around Kiba. Oh, he went to look for something to eat, responded Kiba. Why are you so happy? He asked. What do you mean? Well, usually when you return from the council meetings you are angry, and well now. Oh, I understand, she said and walked over to Kiba and put her hand on his shoulder. We were discussing about the Uzumaki boy today. Kiba seemed to brighten up. He had known Naruto for some time now, and ever since their fight in the Chunin preliminaries they started to become friends. Sure, they teased each other and called names, but it wasn't something serious. So what did you discuss about him? We discussed about marking him missing nin. Kiba's eyes widened, and I sustained the opposition, or favor for marking him, and we won. He and Hyuga Hinata are missing nins now and are to be killed on sight. What? Hinata too? He asked, stuttering. Well, at first we thought he took her captive, but it seems she sided to him, and since that Uzumaki boy is dangerous we marked him, she said, smiling. Kiba started growling. What the hell? Why did you do that? He yelled. Soon was taken back at his words. He hurt you in the Chunin exams. Just for that. I think you even exaggerated in front of the council about our fight. He yelled. Don't you dare raise your voice at me. We did a good thing getting rid of that demon spawn. Demon spawn. What the hell is wrong with you and all those villagers calling him that? He is not a demon. Did he ever try to hurt you in any way? I don't even know why you're calling him that. He yelled and went to the door. Where do you think you're going? To think and to be away from you. He left the house, slamming the door behind him, leaving his mother stunned. Konoha, morning. Next day. Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kakashi, Sasuke and Neji were standing in front of Naruto's apartment. Tsunade wanted to take the blonde boy's things before the apartment was sold. They entered the house and started clearing it of all things. From what it seemed, Naruto didn't have many things, only some photos of his close friends, ramen and his usual orange jumpsuit. Sasuke agreed to help with this. He was on probation. He had been given a second chance to prove himself loyal to Konoha once more. The two Sannin and his sensei would look after him so that he won't do anything stupid, and Neji, he was there because he thought he owed it to Naruto to take his things. Tsunade's plan was to visit Naruto once they found out where he is and take his stuff to him. She would go accompanied by the Rookie 9 and Team Guy. They were about to leave when Tsunade felt something by passing near the wall. She looked at the wall carefully, studying it. What are you doing, Tsunade? Asked Jiraiya. This wall, she said. She then made a couple of hand sings and dispelled what seemed to be a genjutsu that hid a door to another room. Tsunade looked at the group, who were also shocked. Clearly they didn't know of that door. The Hokage turned the knob and entered the room. It seemed to be a training room. There were 3 dummies in the back of the room that had the faces of Orochimaru, Itachi and Kisame. The dummies had kunai and shuriken stuck in them and there seemed to be notes on them. Tsunade took a note that was on the dummy resembling Orochimaru and read, "Should try a kunai shuriken combo when aiming for his throat." She put the note back and looked around again. There were scrolls and notes everywhere. There was a table in the room, and on the table what seemed to be 3 files and several papers near those files. Tsunade carefully examined the files and her eyes grew wide. Where did he? How could he? She asked. What happened, Hokage-sama? Asked Kakashi. These files are the same ones from my office. They have the backgrounds on Orochimaru, Itachi. And there is a file here about Kisame which I don't recall ever seeing it. Jiraiya took the file of Orochimaru in his hand. Seems like everything about him is here, what jutsus he uses, what taijutsu, his skills and attributes. And it seems like there are some notes here and some jutsus are circled. Kakashi took a piece of paper. The title read, Orochimaru, Techniques. He started reading and was impressed with what was written there. Listen to this, he said. Orochimaru, S-Class Missing Nin, the Snake Sannin. From what I read from the files I managed to copy from old man's office, this bastard was caught experimenting on people seeking immortality. Like the file says, it seems that he needs new bodies from what I believe 3 to 3 years. Maybe this is why he said he had come for Sasuke. And if what is written in the file is true, that means that once he takes over his body he will also have the Sharingan. What amazes me about this guy is the strange jutsus he's using. He is trying pretty much to resemble a snake, hence the fact that he is the Snake Sannin. The most important jutsus, or at least the ones I saw them, are 8 or freaky or grouse. The neck extending thing that he does when he bites his target, infusing it with the curse seal, is maybe the only way he can give someone a curse seal, but at the same time it's a very disgusting technique. Everyone's sweat dropped. Another thing that I find disturbing is the tongue and how he can use it as a weapon. Even though it seems like a good offensive and defensive weapon, it's not that good. I mean, if I would stick a kunai in his tongues when he does that technique and implant it in the ground, I would like to see how he would react. Jiraiya chuckled. He has a good idea, you know. The summoning technique is the most dangerous. He can summon a gigantic snake called Manda, but it seems that not even the snake likes him, so I really doubt the fact that if he would bring it in combat another time it would be useless. Now what is strange and needs to be noted is to be careful around is that sword, grass cutter. I don't know how he has it in his throat or anything like that, but the poison on it is very dangerous. I wonder if there is anyone that could heal such a poison. But the important thing is that if he brings the sword out and you don't know how to defend against it, it would be best to go on long-ranged attacks so to avoid the blade. Note: study this guy further. Kakashi put the paper away and took another in his hands. This one is on Kisame, he stated. His personal notes. Asked Sasuke. Seems so. Should I read it, Hokage-sama? Go ahead, Kakashi, responded Tsunade. Kisame, one of the legendary swordsmen, S-Class Missing Nin, member of the group called Akatsuki. In the file that I found one day on a mission, there wasn't pretty much information on him. Everything was torn out. The important thing that was there was that he was assigned a ranked mission before he disappeared, which I find it quite strange. Either he abandoned the mission or something had happened on it. This guy is a water-based user. I haven't seen him use any jutsu, so I don't know what he is capable of. But, from what I have read from Ero Sennin's notebook, that Gaki was looking in my book, yelled Jiraiya. Tsunade hit the back of his head. Shut up and let Kakashi talk. And even thought that sounds strange, I found information on him there. Actually, that notebook is all but a masquerade. He hides information through the words he writes in that book. Really impressive. Jiraiya felt proud, but still stupid for hiding them in porn writing. I'm going to kill him, yelled Jiraiya, only to receive another hit from the Hokage. The guy has a sword on his back called Seismita SPL. And it absorbs chakra, and apparently it's connected to the user. It responds only to Kisame. This guy can be always found around Uchiha Itachi. Note: watch out for him, research more. Kakashi put the paper away and took the one of Itachi. Sasuke jumped and grabbed the paper and started to read, but he didn't get to read much as Jiraiya took it from him. We all need to know what Gaki observed, not only you, he said, and Sasuke just turned his head. So that is about Itachi? Asked Tsunade. Yes, said Jiraiya, looking over the paper. What the hell? He yelled. What? Asked Neji. He looked through my notes to find info on him. Jiraiya, hand me the paper and shut up about the notebook or I will rip it to shreds, said Tsunade. Jiraiya shivered and handed her the paper. Tsunade started reading. Uchiha Itachi, S-Class Missing Nin. Itachi is a master in fire techniques and a master in genjutsu due to that Sharingan. It reached a high level called Mangekyo, but I do not understand fully what it does. I think that it sends you to a world where hours there are measured in seconds here, and the damage inflicted on you there has repercussions in our time, but I need to research this further. What is strange about this guy is that he was assigned a S-ranked mission just a few hours before he became a missing nin. Also, what else is strange is when I had my first encounter and Sasuke came. Even though Itachi beat the crap out of Sasuke when he saw that he did Chidori, not only that I saw he was impressed, but it seemed like he was smiling. And it wasn't a psychotic smile, it was a warm loving smile. This rose tone of questions in my head, I really need to research this, there is something fishy going on here. Sasuke raised an eyebrow, his brother smiling warmly that he did Chidori. It didn't quite fit in the puzzle, Itachi was a murderer. He looked around impassive and found a scroll, he read out loud without realizing. Hiraishin, strange name, wonder what it is. He started to open the scroll when Kakashi took it out of his hands. Now Sasuke, this is not for your or any person's eyes, I don't know where Naruto got it, but know that this jutsu must remain a secret. Sasuke humped and turned around like he didn't care, but his mind was now trying to figure out what that jutsu was that Kakashi said it had to remain a secret. While all that was happening, Neji was also looking around. Ninja gear was everywhere, a lot of kunai and shuriken were rusty already and would have been a stupid idea to use them because they would be useless. He found a lot of scrolls on fire, air and water techniques. He took them, deciding that maybe Tsunade would want to give these to Naruto as well. A few more minutes later, after clearing the training room, the group left with their hands and bags full of scrolls and belongings of Naruto. Well, this is it, read the new polls. Poll 1. Itachi's status. Good. B. Evil. Poll 2. Kisami's status. Good. B. Evil. Poll 3. Akatsuki leader. Please read latest manga, Yondaime is not the leader. Third case Cage. B. Evil twin of Naruto. The plan. Konoha, Hokage Tower. Tsunade, Jiraiya and Kakashi were in the Hokage's office. Tsunade was looking over the things she had taken from Naruto's apartment. There were a lot of ninja material and of course a lot of ramen. But the ninja material was very interesting. Every kunai and shuriken had a strange seal on it, but from their studies it seemed that the seal was inactive and could never work. Naruto was trying to create something, but no one knew what he was planning to do. They even found his diary, but the boy was clever, he never wrote about what he was working or researching in it. The diary was only about minor things, well, minor from the first look. He started writing in the diary when he was 6. It seems that the Sandaime Hokage gave him the diary, and well, the first 6 years were not so pleasant. Tsunade read the way he was treated. The boy clearly stated how he was beaten and how he didn't know why this was happening to him. He also wrote how he was overcharged every time and how the food he always bought was rotten. This proves one point as to why Naruto was always eating ramen. They couldn't help but feel sorry and angry at the same time. Sorry for the way Naruto was treated and the fact that they couldn't have helped him sooner, and angry at the way the villagers treated the poor boy, day after day. And to make it worse, every time when it was October 10th, the villagers would beat his twice as hard and he would be stuck in the hospital for at least 2 or 3 days. Tsunade then read how many assassination attempts were made on him. Every time it happened, Naruto had to fake he was dead or had to start running, usually hiding in the forest or in the sewers. Kakashi was looking over the Hiraishin scroll. This was the jutsu that made the Yondaime famous, and no one knew where the scroll had been for years, literally disappearing. This made the Junin wonder what had happened to the scroll and how did Naruto find it. Jiraiya was wondering something in the same lines, but at the same time he was trying to figure out what to do with the scroll. They could keep it and hide it somewhere, or Tsunade, should we give the scroll to Naruto? The Hokage looked at the scroll in Kakashi's hands and started thinking. Kakashi, this scroll disappeared after Yondaime died. Yes, Hokage-sama, I was still in the Anbu at that time, and I was ordered to find the scroll. Trust me, I had checked everywhere and I never found it. Where do you think Naruto found it? Asked Jiraiya, puzzled. I have no idea, I mean there were 10 teams of Anbu searching for it, said Kakashi. 10 teams? Asked Tsunade, amazed. Yes, for you see, this jutsu made the Yondaime famous. Letting it slip in the wrong hands would have been disastrous, replied Kakashi, his eyes never leaving the scroll. And besides, I could never forgive myself if someone would have used my sensei's jutsu wrongly. Well, if I see it this way, we will take it with us to Suna, and we will ask Naruto about it, said Tsunade calmly. You are thinking of giving it to it? Asked Jiraiya, and Tsunade nodded. She looked at Kakashi that never lifted his eyes from the scroll. If he promises to use it for good and not bad, he can have it, he deserves it, replied Kakashi, happy but at the same time serious. Tsunade nodded happily. She knew Naruto would never use it for wrong, and she was quite curious as to where he had found the scroll, if indeed 10 teams of Anbu were sent to find it and never did. How did he find it? She shook the thought away. She would find the answer later on. Looking over the rest of the scrolls, there were some that had the Uchiha emblem on them, meaning that they belonged to the Uchiha clan. She raised an eyebrow and scanned through them. All of them were jutsu scroll. Every Kaiden jutsu was there, and there was also an old book that contained the history of the Sharingan. What would Naruto do with such a book? What was he after? She opened the book and a ton of notes dropped on the ground. Putting the book on the table, she started looking through the notes. He was trying to find the Sharingan's weak spot, but most of all he was trying to find a way to counter the Tsukuyomi, the most powerful genjutsu Itachi has. From what it seemed, Naruto didn't go anywhere. He was moving in circles, and even he stated that, but nonetheless it seemed that he still tried. She decided that she will give him the book as well as the Uchiha jutsus as long as Sasuke agreed. After all, it is his family's jutsus. Next she found scrolls of the Hyugas and their fighting style, also a book about the Byakugan, the effects and how much it can do. Once again opening the book, there were a lot of notes, each describing his opinion on the Byakugan, while other were ways to counteract the Byakugan, its weak spot, and how to use it in his advantage. She smiled, not only because the notes were made a month before the final stage in the Chunin exam, but because this made his name. He was the #1 most unpredictable ninja. She put the notes aside and decided that she will defiantly give the scrolls and the book to Naruto, seeing as Hinata is now with him. She will be able to make good use of them. She looked at the next batch of scrolls. They were air jutsus. Every possible air jutsu was there, described in detail. The hand signs shonen, personal air jutsus. Now that was indeed strange. Kakashi, said Tsunade. The Junin turned his attention to the Hokage. Has Naruto ever used any air jutsus, or has he ever talked or asked about them? Never, Hokage-sama, and I never seen him use those kind of jutsus. Why do you ask? Because the boy has scrolls on air jutsus, and it seems he started making even his own personal air-based jutsus. Jiraiya chuckled when he heard this. It seems that the Gaki has a lot of surprises. Indeed he has, said Kakashi, thinking. Tsunade took another batch of scrolls and read over them. They were sand-based attacks, and it seems he started looking and studying them ever since his encounter with the boy named Gaara. Tsunade smiled again and put the scrolls away and took the last batch. When she looked over the last batch, she was shocked. He was studying a dead bloodline. She heard about the mastery of ice, but she knew that it was dead. She even heard a story from the boy regarding a hunter nin called Haku that worked under an A-ranked missing nin named Zabuza. He had told her about his mission in the Wave Country, but why was he studying a dead bloodline? She saw he left a lot of notes with questions that were unanswered. The group continued to look over Naruto's belongings for a long time. They were at least going to look over them until the remaining Rookie 9 and Team Gaia as well as their senseis would arrive. Konoha, scene change. Sasuke was walking down the street, hitting rocks out of his way. His head was down and he held his hands in his pockets. He was pondering over Naruto and his brother Itachi. The notes that Naruto left made his wonder who his brother really was. It made him wonder, why did he kill the clan? To measure my abilities, said Itachi with no emotion. The same words rang in his head, but why? Why did he kill them? It had to be more, or did it? Sasuke shook his head. He couldn't think of anything. He couldn't find answers and it pissed him off. He wondered, kill Itachi or try to find out who he is. As he was walking, he could feel the looks he was getting. It was starting to get annoying. There were some shinobi that gave him cold glares, because they blamed him for the departure of Naruto. It seems that the blonde boy managed to get some people on his side. But other people, the majority, was giving him lovingly looks and were cheering and greeting him as he walked. He could hear them say things on the line of, "It's good that the Uchiha boy showed us what a demon that boy was." Or, "Look, there is the Uchiha boy, our savior." While there were some in the lines of, "They should promote him to Chunin or high." He started to get really pissed off. He now realized how Naruto was treated and he hated for not seeing this earlier. It made his blood boil. He decided he had enough and jumped on the rooftops and decided to go by rooftops to the Hokage Tower. Konoha, scene change. The new Ino Cho team were walking with their sensei towards the Hokage Tower. Asuma was like usual smoking. Shikamaru was looking bored and sleepy. Choji was eating and Ino was yelling at him to stop eating so often. Even though they looked like they always do on the outside, on the inside they were hurt from everything that happened. Choji didn't eat anything last night when he had heard that Naruto was now a missing nin. Asuma was still pondering over the recent events, trying to find reasons why the villagers were dumb, trying to find out why the elders were idiots, but he couldn't find anything. His line of thoughts were stopped by Ino. "Sensei, you were in Kakashi's team to retrieve Naruto, right?" she asked. Asuma nodded and mentioned to them to talk as quiet as possible. "So that means you know everything that happened, right?" asked Ino. "Yes. How did it go?" asked a curious Shikamaru. "Well, the first team to find Naruto was a group of Anbu." "And why didn't they bring him back?" asked Ino, furious. Now Ino, talk quieter please," said Asuma calmly. "Sorry sensei," she replied with her head down. "But still, why?" Asuma sighed. "The Anbu team was ordered to bring him back, but when they arrived there they attacked him, so Naruto took care of them." Shikamaru raised an eyebrow. Naruto took care of 4 Anbu. That was interesting. Even Choji stopped eating and was gaping at the news. "But that is not all, he mutilated them." Asuma continued calmly. What do you mean by mutilated?" asked Ino, stuttering. "Well, let's see, one Anbu had his head ripped off, another was stabbed about 100 to 200 times in his body and once in the head, another had his throat cut, and the last one I don't know what he did to him because his entire body was in pieces and the organs lay everywhere." The group's eyes widened. Ino felt like she was getting sick. Shikamaru was fighting back the urge to throw up while Choji literally threw his bag of chips away in his pocket. "And you know what else?" asked Asuma, and the group looked at him fearing what he was going to say. "He did it with no remorse, he personally said that." That was the last thing. Ino entered a nearby restaurant and went to the bathroom. Shikamaru was trying hard to maintain himself to not puke and Choji started feeling sick. Asuma only raised an eyebrow. "I guess they are not ready for things like this," he thought. When Ino returned she was looking a little better. They decided to continue their way to the Hokage Tower when Shikamaru asked another question. "But we also heard that he defeated a group of hunter nins, is that true?" he asked. Asuma shook his head. "No, that was we got him some time to run away with Hinata." They continued their walk in silence after that, no one wanting to ask anything else after that. Suna, Gaara's training field. Naruto and Gaara were standing in the same training field like the previous night. Gaara was looking around Naruto trying to find someone. The blonde boy raised an eyebrow. "Where is Hinata?" asked Gaara. "Hinata? Yes, you said she would train today also." "Oh, well, it's like this." Flashback. Naruto woke up to a new morning. He was jumping up and down in his bed excited. Today was the day he would learn more about using and manipulating sand. Today was going to be a good day. He would also train Hinata in using the Kage Bushin and he would train her in taijutsu also. That way he would also learn more about how the Hyuga fight and he would improve his taijutsu. He could smell the freshly made food. He got dressed in the cloths Gaara had given him and ran towards the kitchen. He found Hinata cooking. He smiled and greeted her. She smiled back and put a plate with food in front of him and he started eating happily. After breakfast they left towards the training field where they would meet Gaara. "Hey Naruto." Hinata called a girl. They turned around and saw Temari running down the street. When she reached them they greeted her. She told them she had just arrived from Konoha and heard everything and apologized for what happened, but Naruto just waved it off saying it had to come. "So where are you two going?" asked Temari. "Gaara said we will train today. He is teaching me to use sand and I will learn Hinata Kage Bushin and help her with her taijutsu," responded the blonde happy. "Oh, I see, but I need Hinata for today." "What do you need me for?" asked the Hyuga girl. "Well, to buy you some Suna cloths. You will die of heat in this ones," said Temari and took Hinata's hand, dragging her to the nearby shops. "You go on ahead Naruto and tell Gaara that Hinata won't participate today," yelled Temari as she was entering a shop. End flashback. And that's what happened. Finished Naruto scratching the back of his head. "Very well then," responded Gaara. "I thought more about last night. I want you to channel more chakra in the sand around you." Naruto nodded. He started channeling chakra, then he moved the chakra down to his feet and released it in the sand. He imagined the sand moving around him. Slowly the sand started to raise from the ground, it didn't come in big amounts. Naruto saw this and got frustrated, he released more chakra, and then the sand around him just shot up, shocking Gaara and scaring Naruto. The sand continued shooting up in the air and then it started falling down. Naruto found himself buried underneath his own sand, his hand was out of the pile of sand twitching. The red-haired Jinchuriki shook his head, started moving the sand away from Naruto, revealing his body. He had a face that could only describe as a combination of pissed off and scared, and his left eyebrow was twitching. It was good for this try, but you released just too much chakra, Naruto. Concentrate on releasing a certain amount, now do it again, ordered Gaara. Naruto got up and started the process all over again. This time however he released the right amount of chakra and a fairly big amount of sand rose from the ground and started spiraling around Naruto. Naruto started jumping up and down, laughing and cheering. Now if you would have looked at Gaara carefully you would have seen the top ends of his lips curve in a small smile. The red-haired boy moved towards Naruto. Now Naruto, you see the posts in front of you. The blonde boy nodded. What I want you to do is concentrate on the sand spiraling around you and target the posts. And order the sand to attack it. Naruto nodded and closed his eyes and imagined the posts in front of him. He opened his eyes and orders the sand in his head to attack the posts. Nothing happened, the sand continued the spiral around him. He pondered for a second and then he remembered when Gaara used to extend his arm and clench his hand into a fist and the sand that was around a person started breaking the one inside till it exploded. Naruto smirked and extended his arm fast in front of him towards a post, ordering in his head the sand to attack. This time the sand complied and apart from the spiral ripped from the cycle moved at a very fast speed towards the post. Upon reaching it, it hit the middle of the post. Naruto ordered the sand to circle the post and it obeyed. Now Gaara was thinking what Naruto was trying. He studied his Jinchuriki friend closely and saw a smirk on his face. He looked back at the post and his eyes went wide. The sand that Naruto ordered to circle the post was hitting, then moving to its left or right and started hitting the post again, doing a tactic used to be known as the hit and run. The sand continued to hit the post, at first slow and then it gradually started to amplify in speed till it became so fast it was hard to keep track of it. Naruto left his stretched hand to drop and then he stretched it again, sending more sand and at the same time controlling the sand that was hitting the post. He continued to hit the post till he heard a crack and the post broke, being hit at such a high speed in the same spot time and time again. Naruto recalled his sand that combined with the sand that was spiraling around the blonde and he started cheering. Gaara clapped his hands for Naruto, he never knew the boy would get the hang of it so fast. Alright Naruto, that was excellent, I only need you to do one more thing, said Gaara. Naruto turned towards him. What do I have to do? He asked with his fox grin. Gaara raised some sand and extended his hand to his side and started creating a gourd. I want you to make a gourd that will hold your sand, but before you do that I want you to bring out more sand out. You don't need to merge your chakra with the sand so you can have a gourd like I do back in my house, and I will tell you that later. Naruto nodded and concentrated chakra on the sand near his feet again. More sand rose up and combined itself with the one that was spiraling around Naruto. He extended his arm in front of him and imagined himself creating a gourd. The sand stopped spiraling around him and started circling in the same spot till it formed a gourd. Gaara nodded and took out something to tie the gourd with. After the gourd was secured he raised it and put it behind Naruto. The blonde boy took the ends of the belt with which Gaara tied the gourd and secured it to stay behind him. Alright, that is all, but from now on you will need to tie your gourd around yourself by your own, said Gaara. Nah, no problem, it isn't that bad anyway, replied Naruto grinning. Now I need to go and do my stuff. I want you to continue training till I return. Use the sand from the gourd on your back. Naruto nodded. Wait just a second, he said, and the red-haired boy turned and watched as Naruto started molding chakra, then directing it to the gourd. The back of the gourd, which was visible, started to shape. The head of a fox appeared on the upped part of the gourd. Gaara smirked and nodded to Naruto, letting him know that it worked, and left, leaving the blonde Jinchuriki to train. Konoha, Hokage Tower. The Rookie 9, Team Guy, Jiraiya and Tsunade were in the Hokage's office. Sakura was in front of the Hokage on a chair. Now Sakura, do you know what you are here for? Asked Tsunade, and the girl nodded. Sakura, said Kakashi. You attacked a fellow shinobi and your teammate and made him be kicked out of the village. You ignored the extents of the damage inflicted on Naruto and started beating him, continued Asuma. Thinking that the damage done to Uchiha Sasuke was more life-threatening than the damage done on Uzumaki Naruto, continued Kurenai. You ignored the fact that Naruto had a Chidori hole in his shoulder and you continued to beat him, continued Guy. You also ignored the fact that beating him like that you might kill him, finished Jiraiya. What do you have to say for yourself? Asked Tsunade. I'm sorry, she said in a low voice. Sorry? Asked Kakashi, do you think sorry will bring back Naruto? Do you think sorry will take his and Hinata's missing nin status away? Asked Kurenai. Do you think that a simple sorry can cut it? Asked Guy. Do you think that sorry will make sure they won't be chased by hunter nins for the rest of their lives? Asked Asuma. Sakura started sobbing, she didn't know what to say, she never thought that her actions would lead to this. Do you think that crying will solve anything? Asked Jiraiya. Sakura continued to cry and at the same time tried to hold back her tears. Well, do you? Asked Jiraiya, getting impatient. And no, she responded, crying. Some of the genin felt sorry for her, that is the girls, other didn't care, while Neji, Sasuke and Kiba were angry. What do you intend to do? Asked Tsunade. I don't know, she responded through sobs. I just feel bad, I never wanted to be like this. Well, what do you know, it is how you didn't want, now is it? Asked Kakashi. Sakura nodded. I just wish that I could apologize to Naruto, she said, crying. You want to apologize? Asked Asuma, and Sakura nodded. You know that he is who knows where, right? Asked Kurenai, and Sakura nodded once again. All right, you will apologize, you will come with us to find him, but it will take a long time to take our respect back, and know this, that if you attack Naruto when we meet him, we don't know what we will do to you, understand? Asked Tsunade, and Sakura nodded. She got up and took a seat on another chair while Sasuke took the seat where Sakura was before. Now, Sasuke, do you know the extents of what you did? Asked Tsunade, and the boy nodded, not saying anything. Sasuke, why couldn't you go by the fact that Naruto just became stronger working harder and harder? Asked Kakashi. I don't know, I guess that, I wanted power so badly that I didn't care what will happen, responded the raven-haired boy. And why was that? Asked Asuma. I wanted to defeat Itachi badly, after he killed everyone I wanted to kill him with whatever it took. Do you know that by doing so you almost killed Naruto, you almost let Orochimaru take a new vessel so he can possess the Sharingan, and do you know that this is also one of the reasons Naruto was kicked out? Asked Kurenai. Yes, I do, and what? Asked Jiraiya. If I could remake everything, I guess, no, I know that I would make sure not to do what I did now, I just made him suffer, while people treat me like a hero and I am not, responded Sasuke, his head down. Exactly, being a hero takes a lot of work. Naruto proved that when he defended Konoha from Gaara, when he brought Tsunade-sama to be our new Hokage, and when he brought you back, said Guy. I know, responded Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke, we still believe in you as you were controlled by Orochimaru from Naruto's reports, therefore you will come with us in finding Naruto, but you will need to apologize to him. Did I make myself clear? Asked Tsunade, and Sasuke just nodded and moved back to where he stood before. Now, what we are about to say will remain between us. Tomorrow we leave towards Suna for an important meeting with the future Kazekage, that is what you will all tell your parents, understood? Asked Tsunade, and everyone nodded. Furthermore, we will take Naruto's belongings to him, but, Kakashi paused and looked at Neji and Sasuke and called them forth. He showed them the Uchiha and Hyuga scrolls and books. Do you agree for Naruto to have this scrolls and books? Humph, said Neji, walking back to where he was. I am no longer a Hyuga, so I don't care what happens to those scrolls, but it would benefit Hinata-sama by taking them to Naruto. Kakashi nodded and looked at Sasuke that was examining the scrolls. Well, asked Tsunade. He can have them, at least this way I can also say I am sorry. Besides, there is nothing wrong in the fact that he wants to know about the Uchiha or if he wants to learn fire jutsu, responded Sasuke. Very well then, said Kakashi, that took everything and put in a big bag full of scrolls, notes, kunai and shuriken. Tomorrow at 10 I want everyone to be at the north gate. I want you all to pack light and only the essentials. There was a chorus of, hi, and every genin and one chunin Shikamaru left to begin packing. They left more happy than they came. They were about to visit Naruto and Hinata. At least see what they have been up to and how they are handling everything so far. After the group was out of earshot, Jiraiya spoke. You think we can trust Pinky and the Uchiha? The Uchiha, yes, I can tell by the way he talked and acted, responded Kakashi, and Tsunade nodded. And Sakura, we will keep a close eye on her. Also I will make sure she doesn't tell anyone the truth about tomorrow's mission, said Kakashi and disappeared in a puff of smoke. Then I guess I will head to Suna and see what the Gaki is up to, said Jiraiya. Oh no you don't, yelled Tsunade. What? You are coming with us, not alone, am I clear? Fine, then I'm going to go peek on the bathhouse, he said with a pervy grin and disappeared. Throughout Konoha a name could be heard. Jiraiya. Everyone knew what he had done, or at least imagined. Grass country, unknown field. Two men were walking on a grass field with no decided destination, their long black cloaks were moving slowly around them according to how the wind blew. The cloaks had red clouds on them, they both wore straw hats on their heads and had two bells attached to them, this were the infamous Akatsuki. One of the men had what looked a sword, it seemed to be bandaged. He was just a bit taller than the other one. So, what now? Asked the one with the sword on his back. I just heard a rumor, responded his companion. A rumor you say? Yes, I seems that the last Uchiha ran and was brought back by the demon Uzumaki. The Uzumaki was kicked out of Konoha for hurting the Uchiha, responded the sword carrier's companion. So your little brother decides to run away to visit that snake and everyone blames the Uzumaki. Indeed. What do you plan on doing? Asked the sword carrier. We are going to find the Uzumaki boy, responded his companion with no emotion at all. Oh, why is that? Remember what I told you when we first met? He asked the sword carrier. Of course I do. It's time I keep an old man's promise. On the move. Gaara was in his future office looking out the window, his gourd near the desk. He sighs. When he will be named Cage, he will have a lot of responsibilities. He will need to ensure the future of Sunagaku no Sato to be a peaceful one. He will also need to be careful so as not to be tricked like his father was, and to be sure that Suna won't go in another worthless war. He turns around and looks at the only paper that is on the table. The piece of paper is in fact an important document. This certain document is none other than the secret alliance between Suna and the possible future hidden village that Naruto and Hinata will create in 2 or 3 years' time. Gaara takes the document and reads it. Hidden village. Clearly Naruto did not think of any name so far. Cage. Uzumaki Naruto. Possibility. Depends on the people's wishes. Location. Wave country. Allies. Sunagaku no Sato. Cage signatures. Subaku no Gaara, Uzumaki Naruto. Description. The new hidden village is still a possibility. The boy Uzumaki Naruto wishes to discuss with the inhabitants of the wave country before he tries anything, but if the outcome is positive this document becomes in use and the two villages become allied. The promises are military support and financial support. The Elder Council of Sunagaku no Sato agrees with the alliance between the present Sunagaku no Sato and the future hidden village. The possible Cage of the future village will be Uzumaki Naruto. If not, he will need to send a new document stating why he isn't the Cage and what changes are made. If these changes are not beneficial for Sunagaku no Sato, the alliance and support treaty is cut and the two villages become neutral to each other until further notice. Gaara closed his eyes to meditate. He really wished for Naruto to make the new village and establish an alliance with Suna. It would benefit both of them. But if those people won't want Naruto as Cage, then the treaty will be null. But what will happen if the people of the wave won't want to have a hidden village? They indeed are very exposed there, they can be attacked easily from all sides. Naruto promised that he has something up his sleeves to protect the village, but he never said what. Gaara sighs again and puts the document in a safe behind the first Cage's picture. He leaves the room to see what Naruto had accomplished so far. Suna, Gaara's training field. Naruto was lying on the sand without the long jacket Gaara gave him and without his shirt. His gourd was next to him. He decided to practice without the shirt and jacket since the sun was getting to him and the minor breeze was beneficial to him. He heard footsteps behind him. He got up and turned around to see who it was. He could feel his blood starting to wander out of his nose. Why? In front of his were Temari and Hinata, and while Temari was in her usual clothing, Hinata had changed her wardrobe completely. She now wore short light blue pants, a completely white sleeveless shirt and what looked to be a light blue robe that stopped above her knees. The robe put Hinata's body in evidence, every curve could clearly be seen, the robe wasn't too thick which made it easy for her to move and at the same time it wasn't too open, so that everyone can see her if you know what I mean. And to add a little more touch she was blushing a crimson red color which Naruto thought it looked cute. So Naruto, what do you think of the new Hinata? Asked Temari after she wiped the drool of her mouth. Remember Naruto doesn't have his shirt or the jacket on. Naruto found himself stumbling on his own words. Man, what do I say, I can't even talk anymore, she looks just like, oh my. Nice, said Kyuubi whistling at the sight of Hinata. Kyuubi, I think that I'm going to faint, it's too much to handle. Why is that, Kit? Well, the new look really shows her perfect curves, the perfect skin, oh dear Kami, I'm turning into a perv. The blonde boy could hear Kyuubi laughing inside of him. He started cursing every pervert that he had met including the fox that wasn't helping him at all. Meanwhile Hinata was debating if she should faint because of how she looked or because in front of her was a Naruto with no shirt, but to add to that his body was the one of a Greek, she found herself drooling like Temari was. Naruto then saw the looks that the girls were giving him. Something wrong? He asked Temari. Well, I never saw anyone with such a perfect body. What do you mean? He asked. He looked at himself and saw he had muscles that he didn't even realize he had. His body was more toned now than it used to be. Well, I had to work on your body a little, I don't want to die yet, therefore I needed to change your body a little to be more resistant, explained Kyuubi. Figures. Naruto looked at Hinata again, he felt he was starting to blush. You look lovely Hinata. Your new look really shows the real you, hee. He couldn't help it anymore, he could feel his cheeks burn, he turned around to hide his blush but it didn't go unnoticed by the two girls. Just then Gaara appeared behind Naruto, he was with his back at the girls. He looked at the blonde Jinchuriki and saw he was blushing, he raised an eyebrow. Turning around he saw the object of Naruto's blush and found himself staring at the Hyuga girl. He could feel blood starting to come out of his nose, he immediately grabbed his nose and turned around. Well, I was here to see what you were doing Naruto, said Gaara. Oh, you two are still training, then we could go, said Hinata, we don't want to interrupt anything. No, it's not like that, responded Naruto turning around and running to the girls. I mean you can stay and watch or train with us. Temari waved her hand. Nah, we need to do some more shopping, right Hinata? Right, responded the girl. She looked at Naruto and quickly kissed him on the cheek and ran away following Temari. Naruto stood there feeling like he was melting, he didn't realize a girl would have this effect on him, it didn't take long for him to faint, the pressure being too much for him. Gaara, when he couldn't hear footsteps anymore, decided to turn around. He turned around the moment Naruto hit the ground, he could see a perverted smile on his face. I wonder how hard it was to keep eye contact for him, pondered the red-haired boy. He went to wake up Naruto that was now dreaming of Hinata. Gaara found it impossible to wake him up, so he resorted to a new method. He used his sand to grab his legs and raised him up and started spinning him above his head. At that moment Naruto's eyes shot open. Ah, Gaara, what the hell are you doing? He yelled. Oh, you're awake. And the sand let go of Naruto, who flew in the wall of a nearby building. Oops, thought Gaara. It took a couple of minutes before Naruto regained consciousness. Once that was done he moved back in the middle of the training field and continued working on controlling the sand around him. Naruto, asked Gaara. Yeah, why aren't you wearing a shirt or the jacket? Oh, it was too hot, you should do it too. When the breeze touches your skin it makes it easier to concentrate at the task at hand, responded Naruto that was concentrating on the sand that was swirling around him. Gaara shrugged and took his jacket and shirt off, revealing a well-toned body almost similar to Naruto's. They both started working after that, and Gaara found that indeed working without the jacket and the shirt on it was easier. He tried to show Naruto his technique, Subaku Q, but with no success. Naruto didn't manage to capture more than 5% of the dummy. And the following technique, Subaku Susu, didn't work at all. They worked and worked for the next couple of hours till they heard giggling. I suppose you know what that means. They turned around and saw 5 girls at a fair distance blushing and giggling at them. Gaara was confused, but Naruto knew what was going to happen. "We love you," yelled one of them, and they started charging. "Crap, run Gaara," yelled Naruto, picking up his stuff. "No, they can't pass my defense, no one can," responded Gaara firmly. "Gaara, this are fangirls, you can't stop fangirls," protested Naruto, but Gaara didn't listen. He raised his hand and the sand rose from the ground and made a wall between them and the girls, who hit the wall full on. For a second it was silence, then the wall crumbled and they continued running towards the boys. Now Gaara took his stuff and started running with Naruto not far behind. They were dashing through the sand village, and on the way they were spotted by more girls that joined the chase. "Now I know why Sasuke dreaded fangirls," thought Naruto. "Naruto," said Gaara angrily. "Yeah, this is your fault." Naruto's sweat dropped and continued running. They ran for quite some time. It was already dark and they managed to shake them off. But they were very tired. They both agreed not to train without their cloths on from now on. Konoha, next day. Team Guy, Team 7, Team 8 and Team 10 with the Hokage and the Toad Sannin were at the north gate preparing to leave. Neji put his hand in his pockets and found a scroll. He looked carefully before hiding it. Flashback. Neji was looking through Naruto's scroll when he found a strange-looking scroll with a strange technique. It read Furui Shuho, Dumu Ainot Bue, Ancient Technique, Dome of Defense. Neji tried to read the description, but the scroll was empty. There was nothing inside. He decided that he will personally give it to Naruto. If it was an ancient technique, he couldn't risk letting the council get their hands on it, especially Hiashi, so he put it in his pocket and pretended that nothing happened. End flashback. Neji smirked. So far the council didn't know of the scroll, but neither has anyone else, but it was for their one good in his opinion. "Alright guys," said Tsunade. "It will be a 3-day trip, so I hope you got everything we need. Once we arrive, be on your best behavior and don't do anything stupid." "Hi," said everyone, and they left Konoha, destination, Suna. Everyone was excited. They were to meet Naruto and Hinata again. While some only wanted to meet them and see how they are, others wanted to meet them for different reasons. Sakura was thinking, should she apologize? Why should she? She still had doubts about this. Her mother told her that Naruto contained Kyuubi, the same demon that killed her father and her grandfather. She didn't know what to do. Her mother asked her where she was going and she lied until her mother found out the truth. It was a slick way. She used a jutsu that the Anbu use for interrogations. When the subjects sleep and the jutsu is active, they are asked questions and they answer them without knowing. But her mother told her she used the jutsu on her for her own good. She said she will handle everything, and now she was afraid of what she would do. Sasuke was thinking in the lines of how Naruto will react when he will see him again or when he will see Sakura. It was strange that in the entire time when he was with Team 7 no one realized how important he was, but now that he was no longer, everyone suddenly realized Naruto's importance to the village. It was strange, but the world works in strange ways and no one can change that whatsoever. Another thing that was going through his mind was what had Naruto discovered about Itachi, and the same thoughts since yesterday raced in his mind. Who was Itachi in the end, and why did he actually kill the clan? In the end, Sasuke still hated Itachi, but he decided that if he will find the truth, he will need to reconsider if he should kill Itachi or not. Shikamaru was thinking how life in Suna was for the two. He was also thinking about what his father said to him a few nights ago. Should they really leave Konoha? But what about their friends and everyone else? He didn't know what to think, and he didn't know much about this kind of things. He can't choose, he doesn't know what to choose. He considered asking Naruto. In the end, maybe he can help him figure out what he should do. The senseis of the team were also nervous about seeing the boy again. They couldn't wait to see them again. Kakashi was thinking this while reading the perverted book. Kurenai was watching around. Asuma was smoking and Guy was babbling something about youth with the help of Lee, of course. "Tsunade, do you think that the Gaki will be happy to see us?" asked Jiraiya silently. "I don't know, maybe some, but I don't know about everyone else. I only hope that we make it in time." "What do you mean?" "Well, the Akatsuki are after him, or have you forgotten Tsunade?" asked Jiraiya. "Of course not. Kami help them if the Akatsuki take them," replied Tsunade with concern in her voice. "You will stay with them?" "No. After you guys leave I will stay with them and train them both." "Good." The rest of the walk was uneventful and silent. Everyone was locked in their own thoughts. For the first time no one knew what to talk about and no one wanted to break the silence that had been bestowed upon the group. Suna. Naruto woke up with his eyes hurting bad. No, not bad, very bad. He thought that someone was bulging his eyes out, or sticking 7 needles in them. He went to the bath and washed his face, but the pain still didn't end. He was starting to get really pissed off. He decided he should eat to take his mind from his pain. It was a good idea, but it was hard for 2 reasons. One of course was the pain, the second was that when he arrived in the kitchen Hinata was there. Now that wouldn't be a problem, but what she was wearing made his eyes go wide, which was strange because his eyes were twitching, but not because of the sight but because of the pain. In the kitchen Hinata was making breakfast like she always does in the morning. She was dressed with a black skirt, very short and it showed her legs perfectly, and she also wore a sleeveless shirt that showed her body perfectly. The blonde boy had a hard time during eating to try and focus on eating and not stare at the girl. He liked the new look and the boldness, but it was too hard to not become a pervert. "Naruto-kun, are you alright?" asked Hinata during breakfast. Yeah, why do you ask?" he asked, looking in his plate, eyes twitching. "Well, your eyes are twitching, you don't like my new look?" she asked with her head down. No, it's not like that, you look incredible, it's just that my eyes hurt," he responded, closing his eyes and opening them again. "It's like someone is pushing needles in them." Hinata looked at his eyes and saw that they were red and the veins started to appear. She put her hand on his cheek and looked carefully, trying to see if he had something in his eyes. She activated her bloodline and saw that there was a lot of chakra moving into his eyes. "Naruto-kun, there's chakra moving in your eyes at a very high speed." "There is?" he asked, and she nodded. "I didn't do anything, maybe Kyuubi knows." He closed his eyes and concentrated. The world around him changed and now he stood in front of Kyuubi's change. The giant fox sensed him and turned around and studied him. He saw his eyes were red and the veins were starting to appear. "What have you done this time, Kit? Threw salt into your eyes?" he asked, laughing sinisterly. Ha ha ha, very funny, but no. I woke up like this and Hinata-chan says that there is a lot of chakra running into my eyes. Care to explain?" he asked, taping his foot. The fox sweat dropped in the blonde and stood quiet for a second before talking. "Well, it seems like your eyes are changing." "Changing? In what way?" "I don't know, they won't let me see." "Huh." The boy was confused. He started rubbing his head in confusion. "What do you mean?" I mean that your DNA is changing so fast that I cannot see what is happening to you." "What? My DNA is changing? Is that good or bad?" "How should I know?" growled Kyuubi. "Well, at least will I remain human? Or what will happen to me?" "Calm down, only the DNA structure in your eyes are changing. They are multiplying and forming a new DNA only for your eyes. I can't figure out yet what it is, but I have a hunch that it might be a new bloodline." "Wait, you're telling me that I might have a new bloodline?" asked the blonde boy, not believing. "There is a possibility that indeed you are forming a new bloodline, a unique one, but I do not know what it does or what it will do, and I do not know what triggered all of this. Until the rate at which your DNA is changing slows down, I cannot help you whatsoever." "Oh yeah, will it be something cool like the Sharingan or Byakugan? Will I be able to copy jutsus or—" "Shut up," roared Kyuubi. The boy calmed down and took a sit. He was staring at the fox like he didn't do anything. Kyuubi sighed again. "Out of all the humans on this world, I had to be stuck with you. You are annoying." "Yeah, I love you too," replied Naruto with a smile. "Alright, do you know what I do not know what it does means?" "Yes. Then why in Kami's name are you asking me what your bloodline will do?" "If I said I do not know, it means that I do not know," yelled the fox, blowing Naruto away and slamming him in the sewer wall. Right, he said, stating back up. "At least do you know how long it will take for the pain and everything to stop?" "No, sorry, you are on your own, now get out." And Naruto found himself pushed out of his mindscape and back into reality. He then started explaining to Hinata what the fox told him. She was happy for him that he was getting a new bloodline. Naruto suddenly looked at the watch and saw the time. Crap, Gaara is going to kill me. He jumped out of his seat, strapped the gourd behind him and gave Hinata a quick kiss on the lips. "If you want me to train you like I promised, you know where to find me." And he ran out the door before she could say anything. Not that Shud could possibly say anything after all that. Konoha, Hyuga compound. "Ah, very well, thank you for the information, Sayaka. A.N. Sakura's mom," said a Hyuga elder. The pleasure was all mine, elders. She stood up and left the dark room. Once she was out of earshot, the talks continued. So Hiyashi, what do you think? Asked an elder. This is very good news for us, now we know where they are, he said, grinning. What are your plans, Hiyashi? We cannot let the Byakugan fall into the wrong hands, and most importantly we cannot let it fall into the demon's hands. There were signs of approval. Therefore, continued Hiyashi, I intend to send a squad of Hyuga branch members to kill the demon and bring back Hinata. Once she is back we will brand her with the caged bird seal and we will sell her to the highest bidder of the noble families. Again there were signs of approval. What about the scrolls that the Hokage is carrying towards the demon? We cannot let him get his hands on our history, not even our techniques, said an elder. Indeed, that is why we kill the demon fast, and when the Hokage drops her stance entering Suna we are going to attack her. But Hiyashi, you know she is too strong and she is also guarded. Yes, I know, that is why the attackers will be the diversion, while she pays attention to the fight we are going to steal the bags with the scrolls and bring them back here to use for our own benefit, including the Hiraishin scroll. We will make use of it, not that demon, roared Hiyashi, and everyone cheered in approval. Suna, Gaara's training field. Gaara was standing in the middle of the field nervous. Naruto was 30 minutes late, he cannot approve of that. If he wants to train he needs to be right on time. Just then he heard someone running towards him. He quickly turned around thinking it was a fangirl, but only to find Naruto running like a madman towards him. Naruto stopped right in front of Gaara, panting, his head down and his hands on his knees. Where have you been? Asked Gaara, patting his foot on the ground. Naruto raised his head and looked at Gaara, his eyes were twitching, and the red-haired boy found that strange. Sorry, I had a talk with Kyuubi and I woke up too late, he responded, rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. Fine, said Gaara, then his eyebrow started to twitch, his eyes were starting to annoy him. Why are your eyes twitching? Asked Gaara. Well, you see, Kyuubi says that my DNA is changing and I am forming a new bloodline. A new bloodline? Yes, and my eyes sting, they hurt really bad, responded Naruto, rubbing his eyes. I see, can you continue training or do you wish the day off? Asked the red-haired boy. Nah, it's alright, I need to get this stuff and get stronger. Very well then, responded Gaara and started showing Naruto again what he needed to do for completing Subaku Q. Naruto listened carefully, but when it came to work at it didn't work as Gaara wanted. Naruto still couldn't grab the entire dummy, heck, the sand didn't even pass the dummy's knees, and Subaku Susu still didn't work for Naruto. They continued struggling and struggling till Hinata appeared. Gaara took a quick look at her before he turned his head to hide his blush and the blood that was starting to move down his nose. How can you handle something like this? Whispered Gaara to Naruto. I can't, my perverted side is taking the best of me, responded Naruto, moving towards the girl and kissing her. So you here to train, right? Hi, responded Hinata. Alright, I thought that first I should teach you Kage Bushin because it can come in handy for you at close range combat, he said, eyes still twitching. Naruto-kun, are you sure you can continue training? Don't your eyes hurt too much? Naruto kissed the girl again. Does that answer the question? She nodded. Alright, now form the ram seal and say Kage Bushin no Jutsu an. I know it doesn't need any hand signs to work, but the ram seal is to mold chakra and he needs to mold chakra for the jutsu to work, he said, demonstrating, and a clone appeared near him. Hinata nodded and tried, but no clone appeared. She tried again and the result was the same. Never give up, Hinata, the technique is more hard, being Junin level, but if you try hard you can succeed, he said, smiling. She nodded and tried again, this time a clone appeared. See what I tell you. He hugged her, making her blush, and then told her to continue. He turned back to Gaara to continue his own training. It was starting to piss him off really hard, he couldn't get the sand to go above the dummy's knees. They stood there training for hours, till it got dark. Hinata had left during noon, she had to prepare lunch. Gaara had left a few hours after that to continue his cage training, and Naruto stood in the field training till the sun set. After all that time he still didn't succeed. He remembered what he told Hinata, if he tries hard he would succeed. He smiled and decided to continue in the morning. Grass country, unknown field. So that is why you killed them, said the fish-looking guy to his partner. Indeed, they had it coming, it was the only way, responded the man. I would have done the same, but I still do not understand why your brother is too stubborn to realize that. Bro is a little hysterical now, he cannot understand that what I have done was for him and what I have shown him was to protect him, responded Itachi, his Sharingan scanning the field. But still I do not understand why you used the Mangekyo Sharingan on him if you wanted to protect him. I showed him what he must never do, I showed him what he must not seek. I told him how to live thinking he would realize what I meant. It seems I was wrong. Typical for the Avenger. Quite the contraire Kisame, he turned into an Avenger the moment he misunderstood what he had to do. Kisame nodded at his partner's statement. What I told him he followed, this just proves he is like them, a fool. But for him there still is time to prove himself, he need to understand everything, continued Itachi. Right, but what if he doesn't understand even now? Then we shall see what the outcome shall be. Itachi paused for a second to remember the night once again. He snapped back into reality. So tell me Kisame, how did you become a missing nin? You never did tell me. Not much, but it was something. Kisame paused for a second. I think it might have been the best thing I had done in my life. Well that's that, hope you enjoy. And don't ask me what the new bloodline is because I won't tell and it's not completely a dujutsu and you will see why. Gaara's pupil. Konoha, Hyuga compound. Hiashi and the elders called forth 10 of the most loyal branch members. Now you might be thinking why they are so loyal. Hiashi ever since he was put as head of the clan selected 10 branch members that were moved into the head family and treated likewise even though they had the caged bird seal on them. The Hyuga elders thought that if they do this then they will have 10 loyal members that can be thrown in the heat of a battle, without worries that they will die, because they are of the branch family and they were right. The 10 summoned were loyal and respected every order without second thoughts. They were also ranked from Junin to Anbu, which made the elders and the head of the clan more happy. They would not die and the mission would be a success. In the years they gained respect for Hiashi and never questioned him, at least 9 of them. One of them, a girl by the name of Hoshi Hyuga, never did respect Hiashi even though she did not show it. After her wife had died she would always see how he treated his daughter and she was disgusted. All her respect for the man dropped day by day whenever she saw what he was doing to her. But nonetheless she was afraid to intervene because of the seal she had on her forehead. She tried once to talk with the other 9 but they became what a young blonde boy used to say, stuck-up snobs. Hoshi is a young woman in her early 20s, she has long black hair, the face of a young woman and of course the same eyes as any Hyuga. She is 1 foot 60 inches in height, thin but not because she held a diet, it was her figure. She is one of the most respected Anbu members, wearing a falcon mask, and a katana on her back. She also wore the usually Anbu clothing. Out of the remaining 9 only 3 more wear Anbu but they weren't on the same team. Today they were called in the Elder Council room in the Hyuga compound. It was something important from what they heard. They were standing in front of the elders. They bowed to them and turned to listen carefully. They were all smirking at the 10 present in the room. Hoshi felt like she wouldn't like what was coming. Now you might be wondering why we called you here, said Hiashi in a coolie tone. For an unknown reason. Hoshi started to sweat a little. Now you all know what happened a few days ago with the Uchiha incident, right? Asked an elder and the group nodded. We have just found out that Team 7, 8, 10 and Guy have left yesterday with the Hokage and the Toad Sannin to deliver scrolls to Suna, said another. We cannot accept this, said Hiashi. We will not accept it for the single fact that the demon is in Suna. You mean that Uzumaki boy? Asked one of the 10, a male called Yuruya Hyuga. Precisely, responded Hiashi smiling. What do you want us to do? Asked Hajin Hyuga, another male of the 10 present. You all hate the Kyuubi for killing someone in your life, am I right? Asked an elder and everyone nodded. Good, because your mission is to go to Suna, kill the demon and bring back Hinata so we can brand her with the caged bird seal for her treason, said Hiashi coldly. So that is what he wants, thought Hoshi. She had a problem with Kyuubi, for killing her brother, but she didn't have a problem with the boy. She knew the difference between a container and a contained. Also, we want you to attack the team heading to Suna and steal the scrolls. I want for someone out of you to create a distraction while the others steal the scrolls. When they are busy with the distraction, I want you all to wear masks to hide your identity. Take these masks. Hiashi revealed 10 masks on the table. These are special masks that will hide your faces from both Byakugan and Sharingan. I also want you to try and not use the Hyuga stance as much as possible, and finally if my daughter doesn't want to come on her own, you make her," finished Hiyashi glaring and spiting when he referred to the young girl. The group was dismissed, they took their masks and left for the mission. Hiyashi and the elders were laughing at their future success, but will it be? On the way to the north gate, one of the 10 Hyugas was pondering on the mission. So that cold bastard not only wants to kill Uzumaki, but he wants to put the caged bird seal on his first daughter, and he also wants us to steal from the Hokage. Hoshi thought. She never did like Hiyashi, even thought she was never treated like a branch member. He always wanted to help the poor girl or the boy, but she was afraid of the repercussions. They could have always activated the seal on her head and finish her in one blow. But now, she was heading to Suna, where Uzumaki Naruto was. She heard of his gift to Hyuga Neji, and ever since then she started thinking if she could get the seal of her. She smiled behind her mask. She was going to ditch the team, alert the Hokage first and then alert the boy. With some luck he would free her from the curse that she has on her head. Grass country, unknown field. So that is why the mission was never finished, said Itachi. Correct, it is degrading for someone of the 7 swordsmen. There are 7, right? To do such a thing, responded Kisame. I can see what you mean, to do such a thing would have made anyone lower than trash. You have no idea, responded Kisame angrily. After all we have done, I can't believe he wanted us to do that. Yelled Kisame in frustration. Well, like someone used to say, look underneath the underneath, relied an emotionless Itachi. Quoting Hitaki, now are we? Well, in one way or another he was right. No one looked as to why I killed my clan, they just thought that I lost my minds. Itachi started to laugh. Me to lose my minds, a bunch of idiots, spat the Uchiha. Yeah, and no one cared why I became a missing nin with Zabuza, said Kisame. Too bad Zabuza is dead, he would have loved to have some fun right about now. Itachi nodded. He heard about the demon of the mist, Momochi Zabuza, and he held some respect for the man and his ways of killing. You know, now that he is dead there are only 6 of you left. I know, Itachi-san, but that doesn't mean that I will start sulking. That is the last thing I need now, Kisame. Remember, we need to stay focused at the task at hand. How will we talk with the brat? Asked Kisame. I mean, it's not like he would listen to us. I know, but we will find a way, and we will make him listen. After that everything will be clear for him. What about the Akatsuki? Did they suspect anything? No idea whatsoever. But we need to keep a low profile. We don't want to expose ourselves until we find the brat. Kisame nodded, understanding. I wonder how the leader will react when he finds about this. Like I give a damn about him, said Itachi coldly. It's a good thing that when we went after the boy and tried to take him, Jiraiya came. After what I heard that they want the bijus, for I was starting to fear that they might succeed. Well, they won't now. They know that we are going after Kyuubi. What they don't know is what we are actually planning. Yes, Suna. It was a bright day in Suna. Everyone was enjoying the new day, well, almost everyone. Naruto and Hinata started their work today. They needed to guard Gaara from the shadows and make sure no harm came to him. Right now the Sand siblings were standing in front of 3 tables that had weapons on them. The new genins were to pick who they would train under. Gaara was looking with his coldness in his eyes. Gaara, smile, smile. If you have that sour look no one will pick you, said Temari. Yes, the filler episode, but I won't put anyone on Gaara's back so those 5 from the filler won't attack. Sorry, but I don't want to write that even though it would be changed. The red-haired boy didn't even look at her sister. He just stared at the kids in front of him, and then everyone headed towards Temari and Kankuro, all except one. Gaara, who had his eyes closed, heard someone approach him. He opened his eyes and saw a girl with short brown hair and black eyes. She was wearing a light yellow cloth around her neck, a sleeveless shirt. On top of the shirt was a blue blouse. She was wearing a skirt, I think it was a skirt that stopped above the knees. You're okay with me? Asked Gaara in a monotone voice. Please, she said. As the tradition said, the pupil had to ask the master for acceptance to be trained. Temari and Kankuro looked at their sibling smiling. Unknown to them, Naruto, that was on top of a building nearby, was also smiling under his hood. He decided on wearing the cape he had bought when heading to Suna. The girl was standing in front of a table that had a few weapons left. Gaara approached her from behind and positioned himself near her. You name? He asked. Matsuri, responded the girl. Matsuri, pick a weapon. She looked at the weapons. There was a club, a sword and a weapon called Juyu. The girl after much hesitation picked the club but she was unable to hold it. She asked Gaara for help. The red-haired boy looked on the table and picked the Juyu. This weapon is called a Juyu. Juyu. Gaara jumped away from the table with the weapon in his hand and landed a few feet in front of it. He held the end of the string, or what it was lol, and started swinging the weapon so fast it became a blur except for a red tint that were some feathers attached to the weapon. The teeth at the end of the string are not so much for attacking, said Gaara while swinging the weapon. More they are used from preventing the enemy from getting too close, and with the rope to render them unable to attack. He finished and launched the weapon towards a post and it started wrapping itself around the post. Practice with this weapon until you feel it is a part of you, said Gaara handing the wire to Matsuri. Hi. For the next hours the girl trained with the weapon but she didn't manage to succeed in her training. When the end of the weapon dropped near her she was startled. Gaara saw this. He went and picked up the weapon and asked her what was wrong. She explained to him that her parents were killed by weapons. Gaara stood and explained to her what he had learned from Naruto about friendship. He told her why he protected his teammates when he attacked Konoha. He then left leaving the girl to train on her own. Gaara was walking down the streets of Suna. He saw his siblings with the other children. Somehow he was glad that someone from the village wanted to be trained under him, and Naruto of course was an exception due to the fact that he was his friend. He didn't accept anyone from the village to come to him and ask for training. He felt good, he was progressing once again with everyone in the village. A figure dropped near him. He wore a light brown cape and his hood was over his head. So how does it feel? How does what feel? Asked Gaara. You know, to have someone to train apart from me, asked Naruto. Good, I'm progressing around here. Yeah, that I can see. Listen, I wanted to ask you something. Gaara turned towards Naruto. What? Is there any way I can carry sand without using a gourd behind my back? Gaara stood and pondered. He never gave much thought to that because he was used to carry the gourd all the time. He looked at Naruto and shrugged. The blonde boy frowned. He wanted to learn to use the sand but he wanted to use it in another way, not by carrying a gourd on his back all the time. He sighed and waved goodbye to Gaara and disappeared. The red-haired boy decided to turn back and watch over his pupil. -2 days till Suna, on the road. The team from Konoha was advancing at a fast pace. They decided it would be better if they went a little more fast than before, that way they could reach Suna faster and safer. The road was full of bandits, they needed to be careful. One of the members was now eager to reach Suna. Sakura decided she will apologize and warn Naruto of what her mother did. She hoped the blonde boy will forgive her for what she had done in the past years to him. She now felt sorry and wished she could repair all this. Hokage-sama, when do you think we will arrive? Asked Sakura. In 2 days, hopefully one if we maintain the pace, responded the Hokage. Then they heard someone snicker. They looked and saw Kiba snickering. What was that about? Asked Neji. Oh, I just remembered when Naruto used to do the sexy jutsu at Iruka-sensei, responded the boy. There were some that didn't understand but those that were always punished and had to stay after hours, meaning Kiba, Choji and Shikamaru knew what it was about. He always used that method to get rid of Iruka so they can escape. He used enduring hours too but not that often. The blonde boy had a lot of ways to escape detention. He would always find something else to make Iruka drop unconscious or just to drop on the floor. One incident was when he cut the legs of the chair a little to make it unstable. When Iruka sat down the chair broke and Iruka fell on the ground. Before he could get up they ran out the window. Another time he used series of traps, a bucket full of clay, feathers, and then some stink bombs that no one knew from where he got them. Those bombs used to drive anyone unconscious. The group always had to wear something on their faces or plug their noses so they won't smell the bomb. There were many other ways. The rookies smiled remembering everything he had done in the academy. It was the best memories of him they had. He always made them smile and laugh even when things seemed to be down. Somewhere in the forest, the team sent from the Hyuga compound was speeding through the forest. They decided to kill the boy first and grab the girl, then lastly ambush the Hokage's team and steal the scrolls and head back to Konoha. They agreed but unknown to them one of them planned behind their backs. Hoshi, who was behind the group, made a cage bushin and switched places with it. The bushin would follow the team and act like her so they won't suspect anything, while she will go and warn not the Hokage but the blonde boy. She dropped on the ground and waited a little for the team to advance, then she started speeding again but using another way so she won't bump into the team. Alright, so first I warn the boy, then hopefully I get to warn the girl before it's too late, she thought. Lastly I will go and warn the Hokage and then return and ask for him to remove the seal, hopefully he will. She silently prayed he will remove her seal. She didn't want to live a life like this. Now that she betrayed the Hyuga clan, she would run into the world and find something else to do. She would become a missing nin, but she didn't care. All she cared was for her to be free from that place. She felt sorry that she couldn't convince the team to follow her way and help the boy. They suspected that she would betray them, but she assured them that won't happen. They are a bunch of fools, just like the rest of the Hyuga clan. The only ones wise are Neji and Hinata in her opinion. Also there were two more in the Hyuga wise, but they died. Those persons were Hinata's mother and Neji's father, Hizashi. She cleared her mind and focused at her new task and pumped more chakra to gain more speed. Hopefully she would leave the team way behind her. Suna, Naruto and Hinata were on the roofs watching Gaara. Gaara was watching Matsuri train and giving her pointers. She started to get the hang of it and she wasn't scared around Gaara anymore. She found out that he is a good person despite what most people said. Looks like Gaara has an admirer, said Hinata giggling. Oh, who? Where? Asked Naruto looking around, and Hinata giggled at his antics. Naruto-kun, I believe Matsuri respects Gaara highly and admires him. I knew that, pouted Naruto. Hinata giggled again at him and focused on Gaara again. While she was looking at him, Naruto was having a though time again. His eyes started to hurt again, but this time even harder. He rubbed his eyes and drank some water. It was getting annoying once again. Why in the nine hells do I have to go through this pain? Yelled Naruto in his mind. What? You don't like it? Kyuubi asked sarcastically. Ha ha ha, very funny. Well, you should know that I am funny, said Kyuubi. Yeah, anyway, did you find out anything over the night? Yes, I did, and I am amazed. I think I influenced you too much, or the Kamis decided that you deserve this bloodline, said Kyuubi with a serious tone. And what is this bloodline? Asked the blonde boy, raising an eyebrow. I can't tell you the name yet, and not much about it, but I can tell you that it's powerful and usually only demons and half-demons are allowed to wield it. Then how come I have it? Asked Naruto, this time really puzzled. Like I said, Ader, I influenced you too much with my chakra, especially at the fight you had with the Uchiha. Ader, the Kamis decided that you are worthy of having it, and if you are, then you will be the first mortal to gain it. Naruto smiled. A bloodline no one has ever had. He couldn't wait. Suddenly the pain stopped. He thought that maybe Kyuubi managed to do something to stop it, or the change of DNA was done and he will have his bloodline soon. How do I activate it? Won't tell. What? Yelled Naruto, infuriated. I won't, because you need to figure it out yourself. The process is done and the bloodline is now dormant. You need to find out how to activate it. It's like a test where you are the teacher and the pupil. Good luck, said Kyuubi, and then broke all communication with Naruto to go back to sleep. The blonde boy started mumbling something about unfair foxes and unfair way to activate bloodlines. Down on the fields, Matsuri had managed to wrap the wire around the post. Gaara nodded to her and she smiled. All right, you done well. Thank you, Gaara-sensei, she said. Please no, sensei, I am Gaara. Hi. Now, started Gaara, let's go and celebrate, my treat, he said as he started walking away. The girl was stunned. She never thought that Gaara, the Subaku no Gaara who was feared by many and was the weapon of Sunagakure, would treat someone to lunch. She shook it away and started following him, putting the weapon in her pocket. Remember from the filler, it's small and fits in a pocket, the perfect weapon, hee. Naruto and Hinata watched as the two left. They looked at the sun. Their bodyguard duty was over, and it was past noon already. Naruto stood up and offered a hand to Hinata, who took it gladly. Care to join me for lunch? He asked. Sure. All right. Let's go find some ramen, he yelled as he started to pull the girl after him. Border of grass and wind. Two clocked figures with red moons on them and straw hats on their heads passed the border unseen. They were getting close to Suna. So what do we do now, Itachi-san? Asked Kisame. We will need to stop in a nearby cave and wait a few days. Why is that? Deidara is approaching, responded Itachi. Suna, 10 p.m. Naruto was watching from the roofs a strange individual. He was the head of the defense in Suna. His name was Yura, but he didn't like this person not one bit. Something about him was fishy, the way he acted, the way he talked. He was planning something. He looked and saw him enter the cage's office. He looked through the window to see what Yura was doing. The man was looking through some papers quietly. Then when it seems that he had found something, he started to copy them. Naruto was not sure what he was copying. He would have jumped and attacked, but Kyuubi told him to wait and follow him to see who he was working for. Yura left the office and the building. Naruto was following him closely. He arrived at his home and entered. Naruto stood out for about 4 hours and it seemed that Yura was sleeping. Interesting, whispered Naruto to himself. He then left. That man didn't contact anyone yet, that means he must be gathering more information. He will keep an eye on him. On the way to Suna, Team Hokage. Team Hokage had stopped for the night in a village on the way to Suna to rest. No one could rest, thought. They were too anxious to get to Suna and see their 2 friends from Konoha. Because of this, many were out trying to enjoy the night and forget their worries, while others stayed in their hotel rooms to think. One such person was Sasuke Uchiha. He was lying down on his bed and thinking of how to apologize to Naruto for what he has done. He was thinking of maybe offering him to train him a little with the Uchiha jutsus while he was in Suna, but he knew that braiding him would be a waste of time and would only make him look like an idiot. He considered that the best way to do it is to hand him the scrolls and tell him his sorry, but he was afraid what would happen if Naruto didn't accept his sorries. What would happen if he just turned his back at him and told him to scram? This was the one thing that scared Sasuke at the moment, the idea that his teammate won't forgive him. Another person was Haruno Sakura. She was looking out the window thinking what to say to him. She knew the way she treated him and felt sorry not wanting to repeat that, but it was now too late. He was a missing nin and he could never return to Konoha. Life would never be the same anymore and it was her fault. She also didn't know how to tell him about his mother and what she had done. She knew that now her mother would do something to him. She would talk to the council or assign assassins to kill Naruto. She didn't know what to do, and to make it worse she was afraid to tell the rest of the team. She was afraid of what they might do to her, that she might lose her last friends as well. Tears started to drop from her eyes as she crashed on her knees and started sobbing. Hyuga Neji was looking at the scroll he took from Naruto's house. He said he would personally give it to him, it would have been more safe that way. He was intrigued as to what the jutsu would do, also he was curious where he found it. He was reflecting on the past he had. It wasn't much to think about. He reflected at how he was with Naruto. The only time when he started to be friends with him was after the Chunin exams. After he showed him the right way, he now understood everything about Naruto, the way he was treated, how sad he was, and now he understood what he meant by the fact that he isn't the only one with a burden, that there is someone else with a bigger one. He felt sorry for not believing that. He was blinded by rage back then. He also wanted to see Hinata, and how she was doing. He knew Naruto would look after her. He is not a bad person and he knew that she will be happier with her. Everyone knows her crush on the boy, everyone except him. Or at least that is what everyone thought, since they didn't see him for a week already. The last person that wasn't out enjoying himself was Kiba. He didn't know how to tell Naruto that his clan was part for his missing nin status. He hated his mother for what he did and hated her even more for making Hinata a missing nin as well. It's true Kiba was a little attracted to her, but he knew her crush and knew he wouldn't be with her, not even now especially. But he felt happy knowing that she was with Naruto. He knew that Naruto would look after him. He said that he will always protect a precious person, and Hinata being one, he would protect her till the end. Sound Village, secret bunker. Kabuto, yelled an infuriated Orochimaru. Yes, Orochimaru-sama, asked the silver-haired man with glasses. Do you know what happened to my future vessel? Why isn't Sasuke here yet? And where are those damn Sound 4? He yelled in exasperation. Unfortunately the Sound 4 are dead, sir. What? Roared Orochimaru. Yes, it seems Tsunade sent some people to track down Sasuke. They slowly killed everyone of the Sound 4, even Kimimaro, and then the Kyuubi kid knocked Sasuke out and took him back to Konoha. I also heard that they removed the curse seal from his neck. How is that possible? Yelled Orochimaru, throwing stuff around. Who did that? It seems that Uzumaki had found a way to take the seal of Sasuke. That boy, said Orochimaru with a deadly voice. I will make him suffer, he said, adding venom in his voice. I will have my new body and nothing will stop me, yelled Orochimaru as hard as he could. I will kill that brat. Unknown cavern, unknown location. A tall figure was standing in his chair looking at the person in front of him. The person wore the Akatsuki robe, he looked old and had a mask over his face, he also had a metallic tail behind him. So, did Deidara leave? Asked the man from behind his desk. Yes, Leader Sama, he is on his way to Suna as we speak. Very good, Sasori, replied the leader. Then a woman with blue hair and a white flower in her hair appeared next to the leader. Sasori, said the woman. Do you know where Kakuzo and Hidan are? Yes, they are tracking the Nibi, so far they didn't find her but they said that once they do they will report, responded Sasori. Good, and Zetsu? Asked the woman again. He is looking for the Sanbi. And where is Tobi then? Tobi is around the base, doing he knows what, responded Sasori. The woman nodded and so did the leader. Do you know where are Itachi and Kisame? Asked the leader. From what I know they are in the grass country heading towards the fire in Konoha to try and capture the Kyuubi again, replied Sasori. Excellent, said the leader. Sasori, till Deidara returns I want you to train, once we find out about Suna's defenses we will strike. Yes, leader, said Sasori. He bowed and left. The leader and the woman smiled evilly. It has begun, said the leader.